Hello, good morning. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. It is Matchday Live. It is Arsenal away at Brentford, looking, of course, to go back to the top of the table. A win this afternoon will see us regain the lead over Manchester City and Tottenham, of course, who both went above us yesterday following their victories. Of course, we know what happened in this fixture last season, don't we? We need to put in a much better performance. I'm sure we will. We're in a better place. But let's get going. All coming up the other side of this. So it's over and over and over again. We are looking forward to the start of this game. Brentford versus Arsenal from the Brentford Community Stadium. Of course, a big game for both clubs, actually. Brentford have started the season really well. We, of course, are looking to go back to the top of the table. Now, we've got the team news for you today. And this is how we line up in. So for Arsenal, Aaron Ramsdale in goal, the back four, as it has been recently anyway. Ben White at right back, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney at left back. Thomas Partey is back in midfield, so that's great news, isn't it? We've certainly missed him over the last couple of games. He's back. Granit Xhaka as well alongside him. Granit Xhaka wearing the armband today. As you'll see, there's no Martin Ødegaard in the side. So Fabio Vieira comes in for him in the number 10 position. And the front three is, as expected, Bukayo Saka on the right, Gabriel Jesus through the centre, and Gabriel Martinelli on the left. So on the bench for Arsenal, then goalkeeper Matt Turner. We've got Rob Holding, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Sambi Lokonga. We've got Manquillos. We've got Matt Smith, Eddie Nketiah, and two young players as well. We've got Lena Souza and Ethan Nwaneri as well. So that is the Arsenal side for this game today. For Brentford, then in goal is David Raya. They're back for Aaron Hickey, Christopher Ayer, Ben Mee, and Rico Henry. In midfield, they've got Pontius Janssen, Vitali Janlet, and Matthias Jensen. And their front three is Brian Mbeumo, Josh Da Silva, of course, former Arsenal player, and Ivan Toney just called up to the England squad. So that is your Brentford side. Then on the bench for Brentford, it's the goalkeeper Thomas Strasenska. They've got Janka Jorgensen, Gordas. They've got Mikael Damsgaard. They've got Sergei Canos, Mads Rotstev. They've got Frank Onika. They've got Johan Wissa and Shandon Baptiste. So they are your lineups then for this game. So for some reason, which I don't totally understand, is Mikel Arteta has kept Ben White at right back and left Tomiyasu on the bench, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I think Tomiyasu is a more natural right back, a better right back. Not that Ben White's done anything wrong in that position, but you need to play your strongest team in the right positions, especially against an opposition like Brentford. So I'm a little bit surprised about that. Of course, Martin Ødegaard, as we know, is out of the squad completely. We're not 100% certain what the reason is for that. I've got a feeling it may well be an illness. He was training yesterday, tends to suggest he's maybe had an illness overnight, and that's why he's out of the squad today. So Fabio Vieira comes in, a really big opportunity for him, isn't it, to in the Premier League. It'll be his first start. He did come on, of course, in our last Premier League game against Manchester United, and he did play, of course, in Zurich, didn't he, in our last match in the Europa League. He had some good moments in that game. He had some more difficult moments as well. He was maybe pushed off the ball a little bit too easily. He does seem a little bit weak, doesn't he, physically, but I'm sure that will come. It's going to be a difficult test for him today against a very physical Brentford side. We saw what happened last season. They bullied us in this fixture to get the victory. So we're going to have to stand up to that today. We know what they're like from set pieces as well. We're going to have to be really switched on. My worry a little bit is the lack of clean sheets. Only 2 this season. We didn't have any at all, did we, in the end of last season? Probably our last 10, 12 games last season, we didn't have any clean sheets. So that's something we need to improve. We need to stop conceding silly goals. And that's been the one negative to this season. But, we've started the season well. I say a win today will send us back to the top of the league. And that would be, fantastic, wouldn't it, at this point in the season? Of course, with the international break coming as well. Our next game won't be until October. And there is a little bit of doubt over North London derby now, isn't there, due to the train strikes and stuff. But anyway, at this moment in time, that'll be our next game. So we will go in, if we win today, we will go into October on top of the table. It would be a long time since we've been able to do that, isn't it? So it's been a decent start. There's issues that we need to improve on. Of course, there is. The squad looks a little bit weak, doesn't it? With players missing. So Erdegaard's out, Zinchenko's out, Smith Rowe's out. You know, 3 really important players, 3 really good players. And it means we've got some under 21s, under 18 players on the bench today, which isn't ideal, is it, for a game like this? But it is what it is. The squad's what it is. We know we've got a few weaknesses in certain areas in the squad, and we just got to hope that we can avoid too many injuries. It's good that Thomas Partey's back. So that's a positive news, isn't it? I'm a little bit worried about Martin Erdegaard being missing just due to the fact that it's Fabio Vieira who lacks that experience in the Premier League. But we know he's got quality with the ball. Let's hope he gets the opportunity to bring that quality to this game, because we're going to need it, aren't we? And I'm personally very pleased to see Granit Xhaka leading the team out. I do think he's a natural captain anyway. He should be the captain of this team. We know there's reasons why he isn't, but anyway, he is captain today, which is good news. And let's see what the performance is. I mean, Brentford have done really well this season, haven't they? Especially at home. They're really, really good, aren't they? They haven't lost at home. They've scored a lot of goals. They scored 4 against Manchester United, 5 against Leeds. So we know they've got a threat going forward. Ivan Toney's in great form, isn't he? Called up to the England squad, as we said. So we're going to have to keep him quiet, aren't we? Mbeumo's a great player as well. Brian Mbeumo, we're going to have to keep him quiet as well. And we need to, put behind us a really poor record away at Brentford. Yes, most of those games have been a long, long time ago, but we've actually lost 5 of our 6 league visits to Brentford away in history. Although I say all of those, apart from last season's game, were in the 1930s, which is strange, isn't it? Because the 1930s was our most successful decade, and they still seem to have some sort of holdover as Brentford. So yeah, we don't have a great record away at Brentford in history. We've only won once away. That was, of course, at Griffin Park. That was in 1946. It was a 1-0 victory, and that's the last time we've won a game here away at Brentford. So it's a long time, but not many meetings in that time. Just one, which was, of course, last season. We know what happened there. So we do start the day, as we said, 2 points behind Manchester City and Tottenham in the Premier League. So the victory will put us back on top again. Anything less than a victory, and we will stay third going at the international break, which, I think after the Manchester United game, I think it's important that we bounce back. Yes, we had the Europa League game. It was unfortunate last week's game got cancelled, because that would have been a great opportunity, wouldn't it, to get back on track again. So it makes this game even more important, doesn't it? Now, the early kickoffs for me, I'm not really sure about them. I don't always think that they suit us. We don't always tend to play that well. Let's hope today that we can change that and we can produce the sort of performance that we need to get the result. And it's going to be a difficult game today. Let's not make don't think anything else about it. Brentford are a very good side, especially at home, and it is going to be a really, really tricky game. And if we're going to win this, we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to not concede silly goals, and we're going to have to take our chances. And that's one thing this season and maybe another negative for the season so far is we're not taking enough of our chances. We're creating plenty. We're having plenty of opportunities to score. We're not taking enough of them, and that's making it difficult for us to get the result, isn't it? Because, in the Premier League, a 1-goal lead often isn't enough, and we've seen that in a few games, and we've had trouble to get over the line. So we need to put that right, and Brentford do concede goals. So that's one thing in our favour. So I think we'll have chances today. We've got to take them, and equally at the other end, we've got to be solid and not allow Brentford to get a goal or two. Because I think if Brentford score first, it's going to be really difficult for us to turn it around. So the teams are coming out now. Arsenal in the black kit. The 2 managers, Mikel Arteta and Thomas Franco, have got some flowers they're bringing out, obviously, in for the Majesty of the Queen, of course. And there will be a minute's silence before the game, as there has been on the previous games this weekend. The Brentford fans have got a flag as well. And I say Arsenal in the all black kit today, kind of fitting, really, isn't it? I guess on the occasion, the 2 managers are wearing black suits as well. And the wreaths are going to be laid on in the centre circle before at the start of this game by the 2 managers, which is a nice touch, isn't it? So Brentford in their red and white striped tops and black shorts, and yeah, we're just getting ready now for this the pre-match kind of ceremony, if you like, which they're going to be doing the minute silence. The players are now lining up around the centre circle for this moment of reflection, I guess, and respect for the Queen. So we will do that for you now. And there it is there, the minute of silence there, impeccably observed by everybody in the crowd there. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Football fans can be trusted to make respects in the right way, which is always great. There's now going to be the national anthem as well. The new version, of course, as we know. So what we'll do is we will have a listen to that. I'll just turn the volume up. So there you go, the new version of the national anthem, of course, which we're going to have to all get used to, aren't we? I suppose. So that is all of that. I say impeccably observed there by the fan. It just goes to show, doesn't it? That football fans can be trusted. We could have been trusted last week to do exactly the same. So I'm not quite sure why they felt the need not to. But anyway, it's all done now. We're going to get ready for the kickoff here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's a big game, isn't it? Here for both teams. I say a big opportunity for us to go back onto the top of the table, and an opportunity for Brentford to continue their great start. We've got Russ in the chat. He says, "Oh, so come on, you Gunners! It's going to be a hard game." I think no, 100%. It's going to be a really, really hard game. One of our hardest games of the season. We saw last season what happened, and that's not a one-off, is it? You see what Brentford have done at home since they came into the Premier League. So it is going to be a really tough game. And for us to win this game, we are going to have to be bang on it today. We are going to have to be up to the physical challenge that Brentford pose. We are going to have to try and impose our own game on them. I'm a little bit worried about Fabio Vieira getting bullied in this game, but we'll see. Tom's in the chat. How are you doing, Tom? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Looking forward to the game, I'm sure. So the Arsenal lineup then, just to run through it again. Aaron Ramsdale in goal. It's Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Kieran Tierney the back four. Thomas Partey's back in midfield. Great news. Alongside captain for the day, Granit Xhaka. Then it's Saka, Fabio Vieira and Gabriel Martinelli behind, of course, Gabriel Jesus. For Brentford then, David Raya in goal. They've got Aaron Hickey, Christopher Ayer, Ben Mee, Enrico Henry, Pontius Janssen, Vitali Janlet and Matthias Jensen in midfield, and then Brian Mbeumo, Josh Da Silva and Ivan Toney is in attack for Brentford. So that is the lineup. So we've got a couple of youngsters on the bench. Nwanyeri and Souza, both in the under-23s, in fact, under-21s, I think they are. Tom says they're looking forward to a strong performance. Well, hoping for a strong performance, let's be honest. I don't know if we can look forward to a strong performance because we don't know what the performance is going to be yet. I'm hoping for a strong performance, and it's going to have to be, because if it's not, we're going to drop points here today, as we did last season. So we need to be on our game right from the start. And if we play well, I think we can get the right result because we have got better players, let's be honest. But if we're anything off our best, then I think it's going to be a struggle. Anyway, Arsenal are going to be kicking off. I say in the all-black kit. We will be attacking the goal to our left in this first half as we look, which is the main home end here at Brentford Stadium. We are off and underway. Aaron Ramsdale with the ball as usual, kicks it long up that far side, but it's a Brentford head, gets there, but Gabriel Jesus picks up the loose ball. Arsenal straight in on the front foot, which we need to be. So we need to take the game to Brentford today, but watch out for their counter-attacks because we know how dangerous they can be. I say especially here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Bukayo Saka right over on that far side at the moment in possession for Arsenal, finds Gabriel Jesus, but he's lost out there and Brentford can come forward for the first time, but that ball is just going to be cut out by Gabriel. Already Brentford looking strong in the challenge, trying to throw us off our stride, which you'd imagine that's going to be their best option, isn't it, today if they're going to get a result against us. Anyway, we're in possession currently with Thomas Partey inside the centre circle, plays it out to that far side. Ben White finds Bukayo Saka. It's been Arsenal possession in these very early stages of this game. We're just coming up to the end of the first minute, and Arsenal in possession, but only on the halfway line. Granit Xhaka exchanges passes there with Thomas Partey and then plays it back to William Saliba. And Arsenal now still bringing the ball forward over on that far side. Bukayo Saka looks for the run now of Gabriel Jesus, who's done well, finds Bukayo Saka again. This is looking a good move from Arsenal. Fabio Vieira in possession at the moment, just plays a simple ball across to Gabriel, plays it in towards the edge of the box. Granit Xhaka's in the area, pulls it back. Is this going to be an early goal for Fabio Vieira? No, it isn't. He slipped. It's Martinelli, actually. Sorry, he slipped as he went to shoot there. That's a great move, actually, from Arsenal. Really good pass in there. Gabriel, lovely little touch there from Martinelli to Granit Xhaka. Could have maybe shot himself, Granit Xhaka, but he pulled it back instead to Martinelli. who just slips as he went to shoot, couldn't get any power on the ball, and it's run into the arms of David Ray. But that's a really good start, actually. And an opportunity there, actually. I don't know why Granit Xhaka maybe didn't try a shot himself. It was a good pullback, though, to Martinelli. But Brentford now looking to come forward themselves on a quick throw with Mbeumo over on that far side. But he's got no one to throw it to. Tom says got to be better with the opposition's counter. No, exactly, because we got caught out against Manchester United, didn't we, on a counter attack? And we know that Brentford, that's one of their strengths, isn't it? And we've got Stephen in the chat as well. He says, "Hello, you amazing people. How you, mate? How you doing? Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you are well. Looking forward to the game. Brentford coming forward now, following that bright start from Arsenal, and Brentford just won a free kick. Actually, it was Fabio Vieira with the foul. It's about 25 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. Is going to be a free kick to Brentford. This will be their first opportunity to really put us under pressure. Fabio Vieira's first start, of course, following his summer transfer. He looked pretty neat and tidy, didn't he, against Manchester United when he come on. He had some great moments in the Zurich game as well. But this is a different test, isn't it? Starting for the first time against what are a very physical opponent. And they've got a free kick here, Brentford, in a fairly dangerous position as well. It looks like it's going to be Matthias Janssen with this free kick. It's quite central. It's actually probably midway inside at the Arsenal half, actually. Probably too far out for a shot. But it's a dangerous moment. This Arsenal have got to be switched on here. They're very good at set pieces, Brentford, usually. It is Janssen who plays it out to the far side, actually, instead of going into the area. Now the cross comes in towards the near post, but it's far too close to Aaron Ramsdale. Nice, comfortable catch there for the Arsenal goalkeeper. His first involvement in this game, throws the ball out over on that far side. Arsenal coming forward with Ben White striding over halfway, plays it up that far. So I was looking for Bukayo Saka, but it was Ben Mee there, came across a former Burnley defender, of course, with that clearance. He's settled in pretty well at Brentford, hasn't he? Mee did get himself a goal, of course, in the victory over Manchester United a few weeks ago. Very poor Manchester United performance that day, of course. But a good win for Brentford, and they've done well this season, haven't they? Just one defeat for Brentford, actually, which was away at Fulham. They've had a good start, and they're coming forward again over on that far side with Mbeumo. Good run there from him. Cross comes in. I don't know if it was deflected, but anyway, it's come to Ivan Toney, plays it back. This is a good start, actually, from Brentford now. When they come forward, they really do look dangerous, don't they? A ball into the box, they're charged down by Granit Xhaka, and Arsenal do force Brentford back into their own half. It is Aya there, plays the ball to Aaron Hickey, who's had a good start to the season for Brentford, hasn't he? Tom says they're strange looking bench. Well, I mean, it's a lack of depth in the squad, isn't it? So we've got a lot of young players on the bench today as a result of that. And that, is what it is, isn't it? But Brentford coming forward straight away. Oh, a header comes in there at the far post. I think it was Ivan Toney. Good catch there from Aaron Ramsdale. That's twice now he's had to have good hands there inside the penalty area. Stephen says there we're looking positive. Yeah, we're looking positive when we've got the ball. A good early move, but Brentford are looking pretty positive as well, aren't they? It looks like it could be quite an open game, this, actually. We sort of said the other night on the show we expect maybe some goals in this game, and certainly the way it started, you can see there being some goals against two teams that don't tend to keep too many clean sheets, do they? Let's be honest. Gabriel in possession for Arsenal, plays it back to William Saliba. What a start he's had to his Arsenal career, but that's a poor ball there from Thomas Partey, and it gives Brentford an opportunity to get the ball forward, but it's a poor ball, and it will run all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale again. 5 minutes played here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford 0, Arsenal 0. It's been a lively start to this game. Arsenal had one big opportunity. Martinelli slipped as he was about to have a shot, and Gabriel Jesus now has got a lot of space on his left-hand side for Arsenal, just inside the penalty area. Plays a cross in towards the penalty spot, looking for the run of Fabio Vieira, but Brentford clear it, not very far. Granit Xhaka finds Gabriel Jesus again, maybe looking for a shot. Jesus about 25 yards. Instead, he plays it square to Ben White over on that far side. Finds Fabio Vieira, does well there, actually, and gets the ball back again to Ben White. Now, we are forced back again by Brentford, though. Good defending from them. William Saliba, though, finds Thomas Partey, a little bit of space for the Ghanaian, plays it in to Martinelli, very central. Gets it back again, Thomas Partey. He's far too far out for a shot. We don't want him to shoot anyway because we know where that'll end up. Fabio Vieira then plays it back inside. This is good play from Arsenal, nice and patient. Can we get an opportunity at the end of this? Can we get a goal? Kieran Tierney now on his near side, Arsenal's left. Granit Xhaka, nice passing is from Arsenal, keeping possession, but not really looking as though we're going to have an end product from Arsenal. Fabio Vieira over on that, Ben White over on that far side in possession for Arsenal. backing with William Saliba into Thomas Partey, William Saliba, and goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal keeping possession, but not really threatening that defence as yet for Brentford. Stephen says, I can't believe Saliba's in his first season with us. I know it seems years ago since we signed him. Well, in fact, it is. It was 3 years ago. Good to see him in the team and playing so well. He's been a real big plus this season for us, hasn't he? And it's been great to see. Let's hope that his form can continue. Brentford, they're looking to get the speedy Mbeumo away down this near side, but Arsenal do manage to deal with that with Gabriel. It was a poor clearance, but Arsenal do pick up possession. That's a long ball there, aimless ball actually. It's going to run all the way through to David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, the Spaniard who's proved himself in the Premier League, hasn't he? I know there was time when Arsenal were looking at potentially signing him. Anyway, Brentford were coming forward there with Mbeumo again, who's looking. Sorry, that was Josh Da Silva actually. Of course, former Arsenal youth player, wasn't he? Came through our as academy system. Didn't quite make it at Arsenal, did he? But he's certainly, since his injury, he's come back well, and he's playing well for Brentford, isn't he, Josh Da Silva? Good to see his career back on track again following that injury that he had, injury problems that he's had. Aaron Hickey there heads the ball on for Brentford, but Arsenal again pick up possession. Granit Xhaka finds Gabriel Martinelli. Stephen says there, it's a war of attrition today. Yeah, it's going to be. It is going to be a battle, and we need to be up for it. And so far, the signs are good. We're playing well. Ben White finds Bukayo Saka over on that far side. Ben White gets it back again. Plays a ball square towards Kieran Tierney. Not a good ball, actually, but Tierney does do well to keep possession. Martinelli now on this near side. Whips the ball into the penalty area. It's cleared away by Ponteas Janssen, I think it was. But Arsenal pick up possession again with Kieran Tierney. Now he's just, 10 yards inside the Brentford half. Plays it back to Gabriel. Again, Brentford are forcing us back pretty well. They've got a good defensive shape without the ball, Brentford. But Gabriel Jesus looking to get clear down this near side, but it's Aaron Hickey gets there first and plays it back to goalkeeper David Ray. That's a long clearance up towards halfway. Granit Xhaka doesn't quite get there, but it's okay because Gabriel behind him does. Arsenal again pick up possession. Thomas Partey finds Ben White over on that far side and Bukayo Saka right on that far touchline. Bukayo Saka, that's where he's been. He's cutting in now though with the ball. Does well, finds Thomas Partey back in the side. Good to see Thomas Partey fit again. Saka plays the ball in a nice little one, so he gets it back. Saka, but again, Brentford defend that well. And the ball's back now with David Raya, who kicks it up that far side. But again, it's going to be Arsenal picking up the loose ball, the second ball. As Stephen says there, Brentford playing a back five. Yeah, they seem to be, when out of possession, they do. Yeah, they do seem to be playing a back five, don't they? And sort of free, then it's almost like a 5-3-1, isn't it? I suppose. But anyway, it's certainly the system that they generally play, and they do play well. But there's an offside there against Gabriel Jesus. We've played nearly 10 minutes. There's not really been a massive amount of chances yet. There was that big one very, very early on for Gabriel Martinelli. Good Arsenal attack that was. He just slipped as he went to shoot, and the ball easily went into the arms of David Raya. And there was a header at the far post from Ivan Toney, which didn't cause Aaron Ramsdale too many worries. But that's about the size of it so far in his opening 10 minutes. It's been a lot of Arsenal possession. But Brentford do look to get the ball forward quickly and have looked pretty dangerous themselves. But Arsenal in possession now. Thomas Partey plays it in to Fabio Vieira, picks up a little bit of space. That's a very good ball, actually, looking for the runner, Gabriel Jesus. But again, it's good defending from Brentford. They look pretty solid at the back so far, so they're keeping a good shape, getting a lot of players behind the ball, making it difficult for us to get behind them and really create too many opportunities. Just that one very early on. David Raya now in possession with the ball at his feet. The Brentford goalkeeper kicks it long towards halfway. But it's Ben White there with the header looking for Bukayo Saka, who's done well. Bukayo Saka over on that far side really well. He's gone past a couple of challenges, plays the ball in to Gabriel Jesus, and then he's fouled, is he? And he is fouled. The referee, by the way, is David Coote. Ben Mee didn't agree with that decision for the foul, but it is a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side, just about 10 yards outside at the Brentford penalty. Good play from Bukayo Saka, and then Gabriel Jesus was bumped from behind there by Ben Mee. I don't think really Mee can have too many complaints about that foul, if I'm honest, although he did have. Not quite sure why. But anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side, so about 10 yards outside the penalty area. 11 minutes played at the Brentford Community Stadium. It is still Brentford 0, Arsenal 0. It's been a lively start to this game. Not many chances as yet, but it's been a good start to the game. And Martinelli and Vieira are over this free kick for Arsenal. Good opportunity to get this ball whipped into the box. Saliba's in there, White's in there, Thomas Partey, Gabriel. Got a little bit of height, haven't we? We're going to we look quite a small team compared to Brentford, really, aren't we? Anyway, let's see what this free kick brings. It may well be Martinelli to swing this in. It is Martinelli towards the far post. Again, it's a Brentford head, gets it clear, and they do manage to get the ball away. They're very, very strong from set pieces, Brentford. But we should keep the ball in here with Kieran Tierney just in front of the Arsenal dugout on this near side. That's a good long cross from Tierney, looking for the head of Gabriel, who's still up from that free kick. Arsenal keeping possession. Fabio Vieira. He's had a good start to this game, actually. He looked really lively. His passing's been good. Ben White now. Fabio Vieira's an option, but instead White goes back to to William Saliba, finds Thomas Partey, but that ball again wasn't accurate from Thomas Partey, and Brentford can clear it away. But again, Arsenal just picking up the second ball time after time in this game so far. It's been good pressure from Arsenal. Stephen says there, Jesus needs a goal today. Yeah, he's only scored in 2 of our 6 games, isn't he? Which is a little bit worrying, but 3 goals in 6 games isn't a bad return, is it? Let's be honest. A goal today would be really good. Ben Mee there just gets in ahead of Fabio Vieira, but it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. In fact, it isn't. It's going to be a throw to Brentford over on that far side. Did the ball come off the young Portuguese player? I'm not sure if it did, actually. In fact, it may have been a foul by Ben Mee. But anyway, it is going to be a throw to Brentford, I think it is, over on that far side. But Vieira's had a decent start to this game, actually. He's looked lively. His passing's been good. He's looked sharp. Good to see. Let's hope that can continue throughout this game. And he can be a big player for us this season, can't he? I think we know that. So we'll see exactly what happens so far. It's 13 minutes played. It is still Brentford 0, Arsenal 0. Brentford coming forward down this near side, looking for a rare attack so far in this game. It's been mostly Arsenal possession, although I say very, very few opportunities for either side so far. Just that big one for Martinelli early on when he slipped. Otherwise, he may well have given us an early lead, which would have been a great platform for us to go on and hopefully win this game. But Brentford coming forward now over on that far side. In fact, they're not, because it's a free kick. I'm not sure what happened. It was Rico Henry's ball up that far side. Looking for Matthias Jensen. I'm not sure if it was offside. Anyway, I'm not quite sure what's going on. It is a free kick to Arsenal, which Ben White is going to take. I think it may well have been an offside. So Ben White actually leaves it to William Saliba. Ben White does receive the ball from the Frenchman, gives it back to him again, and it goes back to Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal just quite happy to keep possession at the moment. Ramsdale goes long this time in towards the Brentford half over on that far side, but it's gone out for a throw to the Bees. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 0. We have played 14 and a half minutes here at the Brentford Community Stadium. 40 minutes of Arsenal, mainly Arsenal possession, but not really too many chances to talk about. Stevens in the chat there says Tony has a lot of space between White and Saliba. Yeah, I mean he makes some good movement, doesn't he? Brentford coming forward now, looking a little bit dangerous here on the edge of the penalty area. That's a good ball in to Mbeumo across the box there. A Brentford player went down actually just on the edge of the penalty area, but Arsenal have now got a chance for a counter attack. Bukayo Saka over on that far side, looking for a bit of support. Is he? Gabriel Jesus is the only one ahead of him. He slows it down a little bit. Bukayo Saka just on the edge of the penalty area now on that far side. Tries to get across him, but that's good defending, actually. Really good defending from Ivan Toney. He does do that defensive work as well, doesn't he, Toney? He works hard for the team. Very, very good player. Fully deserved his England call-up. He is a player that I certainly wouldn't mind Arsenal signing at some stage. A very, very good player there. Arsenal got an attacking throw here on that far side. Ben White looks for Bukayo Saka inside the area. Can Saka get the ball across the box? He can't. And it's an Arsenal corner, the first corner of the game. 15 and a half minutes played. Bukayo Saka did well there, actually. Ben White's throw. Saka tried to get in over on that far side. Got to the byline. Couldn't quite get the ball across. It was deflected behind. And it is a corner to Arsenal. The first corner of the game over on this far side. Can Arsenal get this first goal, the breakthrough here at the Brentford Community Stadium, which is going to be so important, isn't it? I do think the first goal in this game, first goal in most games is important, but particularly when Arsenal play, because we don't tend to come from behind very often, do we? Anyway, it is a corner to Arsenal on that far side. It comes in towards the near post. It's flicked on by Saliba. It hits the post. It's in. Surely that's in, is it? Has it been given? Yes, it is. It's in. William Saliba with the goal. It has been given. It did cross the line. It hit the post, inside of the post. It came back out again. Goalkeeper David Raya pushed it away, but it looked like it was over the line. It has been. It is over the line. It is a goal. Arsenal have got that early lead. We was saying it was a possibility from that corner, and it is, and in fact it is. And of course it is. And it is William Saliba with the goal, headed on that corner there to the far post. It hit the inside of the post, clearly over the line before Raya scooped it out. And Arsenal do get the early goal, which, you know, you wouldn't say it's been coming, but it certainly deserved. We've been playing pretty well in the early stages here. Stephen said, get in there. And Tom says, need to pile it on now. Yeah, we sometimes haven't always made the most of getting a lead, have we? We haven't push that advantage on, and that's something that we need to do today because we know Brentford are still going to pose a threat to us. But it's a good start from Arsenal. We get the goal. 16 minutes it was. The goal went in there. William Saliba, his second goal already for Arsenal this season. Our centre backs do like scoring, don't they? Gabriel, of course, was a high scoring centre back in the Premier League last season. Saliba's now got 2 goals already. Might make him the top scoring centre half in the Premier League this season. I'm not 100% certain of that, but he certainly will be up there, won't he, after 6 games to have got 2 goals, because Gabriel's already scored this season as well, hasn't he? So a lovely header, that back flicked header at the near post, very kind of 1980s George Graham style corner. Instead of flicking it on for someone else, it actually flicked it on and it went in off that far post. But Brentford coming forward now, looking for an instant response, but good defending there from Gabriel. Just cut off the ball there to Mbeumo. He's going to be a throw to Brentford on this near side. But that's a good start from Arsenal. It's what we needed. Hopefully that will settle us down. It's our first ever goal in this Brentford Community Stadium. Our first goal in an away game against Brentford since 1946. Yes, we haven't played them very often in that time in that stadium. But anyway, but our first goal away at Brentford for a long, long time. Our first Premier League away goal here as well. And it's William Saliba with it. Stephen says there, can I just say respect to Arteta for dressing respectfully? So, yeah, he's got his black suit, black tie on. Thomas Frank's all in black as well, actually. A few of the managers did yesterday, didn't they? It just goes to show, Arsenal still got a little bit of class, haven't we? Let's be honest. We always have had, and we always will. 19 minutes played. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. The start that we wanted, that we needed. Really important that we started this game well, and we have done. And let's hope we can build on this 1-goal lead, which William Saliba has only just given us. A lovely header that was in off the post, and goal line technology working as indeed it should. Although there wasn't really much doubt. I don't think we needed goal line technology. You could see it was clearly over the line before David Raya scooped it away. Anyway, Brentford in possession now, looking to try to find a way back into this game. It's been a difficult start for Brentford. It's been a good start from Arsenal, and it is 1-0. We've played nearly 20 minutes. It's been a good 20 minutes from Arsenal, but we need to keep this pressure on. Sometimes you score a goal and you can drop off a little bit. We mustn't make sure that we do that. But Brentford have won a free kick. There was a foul there by Kieran Tierney, and it will be a free kick to Brentford inside their own half, which they've taken quickly, looking to find a response. They've got a little bit of space in midfield now. Brentford, the ball over the top, but it's going to run through to Aaron Ramsdale. Not a great ball there, and Mbeumo would be wanting better service than that if he's going to find a way to trouble this Arsenal defence. And it is still, of course, Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Aaron Ramsdale in possession inside his own pair of the ball inside his hands. And that's an Arsenal player that's gone down. Is it Gabriel on the edge of the penalty? I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Didn't seem to be anybody around him. He's just sitting up again now. Is it a muscle injury behind his knee? It looks like his right knee. Being sign, isn't it, for Arsenal? If another injury, we've got too many injuries at the moment, haven't we? It seems to be one after the other at the moment. 3 key players out today, of course, as we know. And the last thing we need is another injury. But so far, let's hope Gabriel's going to be okay. It looks like, I say, it's his right knee, or behind his right knee. He's just getting some treatment now. But it's been a good start to this game from Arsenal. We probably do just about deserve to be in front. I'm not saying there's been a lot of chances, because there hasn't been, but we've been the better team. In fact, there was a concern, in fact, in the warm-up. They're just showing a clip here in the warm-up of Gabriel holding that similar part of his leg, actually. So it seems like it's an ongoing issue that he had before the game. and it seems as though it's obviously recurred now. He's back up on his feet again, but it's quite worrying, isn't it, actually? What's happening with the injuries at the minute? It seems to be one after another, but Gabriel is not moving very clearly, very freely at the moment at all, actually, which is very, very concerning. But anyway, let's hope he's okay. But anyway, while the break was going on there, all the Arsenal players around Arteta, and he is giving some instructions out. In fact, Tomiyasu is warming up. So what you'd imagine would happen is Ben White would drop into centre back. Tomiyasu will come on at right back. I would imagine that will be the change there. As Stephen says, holding. Stephen says holding it, but I don't think it will be holding. It looks like it's going to be Tomiyasu and Ben White dropping into centre back. I think that's probably a good option. But Gabriel's come back on at the minute. Let's hope he's going to be okay. But that looks like it's a problem he had before the game. So I'm assuming that it's probably not going to get better, is it, as the game goes on? You have to assume it's some sort of muscle injury behind his right knee. It looks as though it is. So let's hope that he can recover from that and he's okay. But a little bit worrying there for Gabriel, I say, with the other injuries that we've got. Of course, luckily, this is the last game before the international break, isn't it? So we've got 2 weeks off. But now Brentford coming forward on this near side with Mbeumo, but Gabriel was there then, and he seems to be moving a little bit better now. He did well there defensively, found Thomas Partey bringing the ball forward in the sunshine here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. We have played 23 minutes. Stephen says they're not a bad choice. And Tom says there, yes, Tomiyasu. Stephen says, I want him off if he's injured. Well, I mean, yeah, we don't want to make it worse. I say the good thing is there's an international break coming up, so he's got time to get better and recover, and hopefully, he'll be fine. But let's see what happens the rest of this game. William Saliba in possession, a goal scorer, William Saliba. That's 2 goals for him this season, both away from home, actually, funnily enough. But anyway, I'm sure he'll get his first goal at the Emirates very soon. That's a long ball over the top, looking for the run of Martinelli. Good defending again from Brentford, but Arsenal pick the ball up again with Gabriel Jesus on this near side, just inside the penalty area. Gabriel Jesus, can he get a cross in? Plays it square instead to Thomas Partey. Don't shoot. Please don't shoot. He doesn't. He finds Fabio Vieira instead. Arsenal keep the attack going. Ball played into the penalty area to Gabriel Jesus. He does well, but actually it was good defending again from Brentford, who've actually defended pretty well in open play. They just, obviously it was a set piece that caught them out today so far, but we'll see what happens. Gabriel is looking as though he's going to be okay for the time being. He is playing on, and we'll see how that develops over the next up until half time probably. We'll see how he is. But anyway, Brentford got a throw on this near side, which Aaron Hickey takes, but Arsenal do deal with that. It was Kieran Tierney played the ball forward. Now it's Martinelli on this near side, twisting and turning under pressure there from Hickey. He does well though, Martinelli, and he does win a throw off of Mbeumo, which Kieran Tierney. Tom says there, Rose Partey shot. Exactly, yeah, that's, we don't really want Thomas Partey shooting too often, do we? Because it's just, we basically just give him the opponent a goal kick up. He has scored 2 goals for Arsenal, both though were headers from corners, not from shots from outside the box. Let's remember that. So that seems to be where he's more likely to get himself a goal for Arsenal if he's going to get one, rather than a shot. But anyway, I'm sure one day it'll go. It'll be a bit like the Jon Jensen moment, won't it? One day he will score a great goal from 40 yards into the top corner, and it will be a moment we'll all remember forever, and probably not too many of them, maybe. But anyway, we know what a great player he is. It's great to have him back in the side, and he's doing okay in this game so far. Actually, playing well in midfield, but we don't really necessarily want him shooting too often, do we? Fabio Vieira doing really well in the midfield as well there. Tried to play the ball forward, but again, Brentford do defend it well, and Ben Mee plays it back to goalkeeper David Raya, who goes long towards halfway. Good header there from Granit Xhaka, finds Thomas Partey inside the centre circle, keeping possession for Arsenal, finds Ben White just outside him. Arsenal looking pretty comfortable in possession. Certainly a lot better performance this year, isn't it, at Brentford than it was, of course, on that first game last season, which we don't really want to be reminded of. But, of course, the TV and everybody else were quite keen to go through the highlights of that game again, wasn't they? Show how poor we were. But we know that it was a terrible game. There was reasons for that. We know that now, don't we? And I say today it's a different Arsenal side here, and so far so good. It's a different result as well. 1-0 ahead. Stephen says, I want to see Jesus become a little more selfish in front of goal. Yeah, I mean, we want to see Jesus, scoring a lot more regularly, don't we? He needs to be scoring a lot more often. I totally agree, and he does need to be a bit more selfish. Maybe that's right. But I mean, he has brought a lot to the team, hasn't he? But and 3 goals, which isn't bad, is it? After 6 games, let's be honest. Anyway, Granit Xhaka now plays the ball to Kieran Tierney down his near side. Tierney plays it back to Granit Xhaka on the edge of the penalty. Dinks across to the far post. That's a great ball. Header comes in. Oh, it's 2-0. And we say Gabriel Jesus, we needed a goal for him. We've given us a goal. Gabriel Jesus makes it 2-0. Right on cue. We were just saying with another goal. 27 minutes on the clock. Arsenal now in total control of this game, you have to say. That was a very, very good ball into him there from Granit Xhaka. It was with the cross. Kieran Tierney gave the ball back to Granit Xhaka. Just got his head up, left foot cross to that far post. And from about 8 yards, Gabriel Jesus with his head banged it into the top corner. So 2 headed goals for Arsenal, following all those left-footed goals we had earlier on. Goalkeeper David Ray got a hand to it, couldn't keep it out. A really good header that was from Jesus, showing that he can score all different types of goals now. He's got, lots of different goals, hasn't he, for Arsenal? That's his 4th in the Premier League this season. Becomes a top scorer now, and that's a great header into the top corner. Stephen says that over and over, good vibes. Indeed, it is good vibes now. 2-0 ahead at Brentford. It's looking very, very good for us now. And let's hope we can go on from here. A nice little dance there from a little samba there from one of our Brazilians, Gabriel Jesus. So it is 2-0 to Arsenal. We are now in total control, but Brentford coming forward straight away, but that ball runs through to goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. Stephen says there, Xhaka, what a boy. It was a fantastic cross, wasn't it, to the far post. Stood the ball up well. He's just dying for somebody to get on the end of it. And Gabriel Jesus was able to do that there. Lovely header. And it's his first goal away from home, actually. William Saliba has scored all his goals away from home, and that's the first one for Gabriel Jesus. Tom says there, Partey's a new John Jensen, couldn't hit a barn door from 2 yards out. He'll probably score now. Well, he may well do. We were just talking about Gabriel Jesus needing to score. Arsenal coming forward again. Are we going to get a third goal? Oh, that was a shot from Bukayo Saka. High over the crossbar. Very Thomas Partey-like shot that was from Saka, actually. He did score, of course, in the win over Brentford at the Emirates earlier, or sort of in the second half of last season, didn't he? In that 2-1 victory, it was, of course, Saka and Smith Rowe scored in that game. Saka looking again there inside the penalty area, lashed that shot over the top of the bar, though, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Brentford. But Arsenal are in full control of this game as things stand. We'll be going into the international break back on top of the Premier League, which is really, really good to see, isn't it? How long will this continue? It's almost unbelievable, is it? Brentford coming forward now, looking to try to get a goal back. We don't want to give them an opportunity, do we? We haven't kept enough clean sheets, have we? That's a cross into the box, to the far post, comes across again. But Arsenal do manage to just about deal with that with William Saliba's header. But Arsenal haven't cleared it at all particularly well. Brentford coming forward again inside the penalty area with Mbeumo. Tried to get it across the box, but Arsenal do defend it well. He's going to go out, though, for a throw to Brentford on this near side. We've played half an hour here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 2. William Saliba and Gabriel Jesus with the goals. And was there a foul there on the edge of the penalty area? Brentford wanted a foul, but instead it's just going to be a throw in the attacking third of the pitch for Brentford. If they're going to come back into this game, you do feel they'll need a goal before half-time, so we need to be switched on here. They've got a long throw expert, of course, as we know. It's going to be a difficult ball. It's going to be very Stoke-like. Didn't they score from a long throw against us last season, didn't they? That one comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's flicked on, but this time Arsenal do deal with it, get it clear. Although Brentford are going to pick up the loose ball. Played up that far side. It's going to be Mbeumo with the cross all the way across to the far post. A good header, though, that was by Ben White. It's going to be another throw, though, to Brentford again from a very similar position. Are they going to throw it back into the box? I think it's Janssen, isn't it? Pontius Janssen, who's got this long throw for Brentford. He's got the ball again. We dealt with that last one. Can we deal with this one? It's a real weapon, isn't it, that Brentford have got here? It's almost as good as a corner, this throw. Goes in towards that near post again. It bounces around in the 6-yard box. It's headed behind. It's going to be a corner. Ben White, it was there with a defensive header. But Brentford have got a corner. They're piling the pressure on here, actually. now looking to try to find a way back into this game. Arsenal just need to stay strong, stay focused, and keep up to half-time with this 2-goal lead, and then I'm sure we'll be well on our way to a good victory. But we have to defend at this corner at the minute from this near side. Brentford have got a lot of players inside the penalty area, a lot of movement going on in front of Aaron Ramsdale's 6-yard box. The corner comes in short. Back again. I don't think Brentford really made the most of that, did they? Arsenal have done well to defend it, and now there's a chance for a counter-attack on here. Kieran Tierney down this near side, striding forward over halfway. Can Arsenal get a third goal here? It would be a fantastic counter-attack if we can. Tierney plays it across to Martinelli. He finds Bukayo Saka on that far side. Can Saka get the ball into the box? Thomas Partey, don't shoot. He doesn't. He gives it back to Saka instead. And now the momentum of that counter-attack slightly gone, actually. But anyway, we do play the ball back across here to Gabriel Jesus, of course, the scorer of that second goal. Cuts inside. Can he get a cross in? He goes square instead to Thomas Partey. Tries to play the ball into the box there. Ben Mee is there with a good clearance. But again, Arsenal pick up the second ball with Gabriel. This is good pressure from Arsenal. Stephen says Brentford have woken up. Well, they put us under a bit of pressure there, didn't they? But we've dealt with that, and now we're coming forward ourselves. Fabio Vieira, who's had a nice, tidy start to this game, actually. His first start in the Premier League for Arsenal following that big transfer in the summer. Good to see him in the team today. And I say playing well at this moment in time, which is good. Thomas Partey now in possession on halfway. Plays out to that far side. It is with Ben White. Now it's with Martinelli, who's gone over on that far side, actually. As him and Bukayo Saka swapped wings anyway. The ball is now back with Aaron Ramsdale, who's just outside his penalty area. Goes long up that far side, too long actually, and it's just cleared away by Brentford. And now there's a little bit of space for Mbeumo to come forward. He's done well. Mbeumo, he's held up though by Martinelli. In fact, it's just Silva, sorry, not Mbeumo. They've switched sides as well. And then it's a foul. Is it by Martinelli or is it a goal kick? It's a goal kick. A good defending, actually, it was, which is good to see. Tom says there, keep them on the back foot. Yeah, let's try and keep them on the back foot. That's what we're doing so far. Stephen says there, Ben Mee is their best player at the moment. He's playing well, Ben Mee. Yeah, their defence has been pretty good, actually, it has to be said. And I don't think that was a foul. They've just had a replay of it. It was just two players going for the ball. Terry there says, afternoon, Rich, what a start. Couldn't hope for much. Well, no, exactly, yeah, it's what we needed, isn't it? We needed a fast start here after what happened last year, and that's exactly what we've got. But we need to make sure that we keep switched on, because I say a goal back for Brentford before half-time changes the whole complexion of this game, doesn't it? But it's certainly been a really good start from Arsenal. 2-0 up inside the opening 30 minutes of this game. And it looks as though we are going to be bouncing back from that defeat at Manchester United, our first and only defeat of the season so far. Let's hope that run continues for much longer anyway. Brentford in possession at the moment inside their defensive third, trying to get the ball clear. Good play, though, from Bukayo Saka coming forward, finds Granit Xhaka. It was his assist for that second goal. Lovely cross it was. Granit Xhaka this time tries a shot. And again, it was Thomas Partey-like accuracy gone into Rose behind the goal. But it certainly nowhere near as good as the quality of his cross for that second goal, 5 minutes or so ago. But he tried a shot there, Granit Xhaka, and yeah, not the least said about that. Probably the better, if we're totally honest. Anyway, it is going to be a goal kick to Brentford as we into the last 10 minutes now. This first half, a good first half from Arsenal, really good. Couldn't have gone much better, could it? As Terry said, 2-0 up within half an hour. But Brentford coming forward now down this near side with the dangerous Mbeumo. Was he fouled? I think the referee says yes, or is it a corner? Gabriel protests. It's going to be a corner, actually, to Brentford. Steven says, sounds crazy, but we need a third to take the wind out. And, well, potentially we do. I mean, I say a two-goal lead can be a bit dangerous sometimes, can't it? Especially, so early in the game, because a goal back for Brentford, and it changes everything, doesn't it? We've seen it happen so many times. And it's a corner now to Brentford. They are dangerous from set pieces usually. The last one, they went short and we almost got a goal on a counter-attack. I think this one's going to come long from Janssen, potentially. Mbeumo's over as well. In fact, it is Janssen towards the near post. Again, it wasn't a great corner from Brentford, actually. We're saying how good they were, and their two corners so far have been really, really poor. Anyway, David Raya plays the ball forward there on halfway. Wasn't a great ball. He's seen a miss kick it, but he's got it back again now. And he's going to launch one into the Arsenal half, in towards the Arsenal penalty area. He does. up that near side, but it's going to run through to Gabriel. Is it there? It's Gabriel Jesus actually in the defensive position. He loses out. Cross comes in to the far post. There's no Brentford player there, and it's going to go all the way across to be a throw to Arsenal over on that far side, which Ben White will take. That's the far corner there where the Arsenal fans are. Of course, not a big allocation. It's a very small stadium. Hosted, of course, a lot of games in the Euros, didn't it? The Women's Euros in the summer. This stadium, Germany played here, Spain played here as well. A lot of people are saying what a great little stadium it is with good atmosphere. I've never been. I'm looking forward to going there at some stage and looking forward to that. But yeah, obviously it's only the second time Arsenal have played here in this stadium, and we have so far reversed the result of the last game of the last season, didn't we? When we know what happened there. Anyway, it's a throw to Brentford at the moment over on that far side. Are they going to try and launch it into the box? They do like these long throws, don't they? And it is a big weapon for them. And in fact, it is going to be again this long throw from Janssen, who's very, very good at these. Reminds us of Stoke a little bit, you know, the red and white striped kit as well. Doesn't help, does it? Those old days at the Britannia under Tony Pulis where we did struggle, didn't we? But so far we've dealt with this. We dealt with that one again. Good defending from Arsenal and a long ball forward. And suddenly, is there a counter-attack opportunity? But there isn't, because it's good defending actually from Brentford. And the ball goes back to David Raya, who goes long up this near side. Brentford have certainly been better since that second goal, haven't they? And maybe Arsenal have slightly dropped off a little bit. Understandable, isn't it? When you go 2-0 up, you do maybe have that natural little drop-off, don't you, for 5 minutes or so. And that seems to be what's happened. And Brentford have certainly enjoying their best spell of this game up till now. And that's a good ball actually up this near side with Mbeumo. Can he get across? And he goes back instead to Josh Da Silva. This is nice play from Brentford actually, but I don't think Josh Da Silva's going to keep that in. He isn't. It goes behind. Good defending from Granit Xhaka, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal. Nearly 39 minutes played. It is still Brentford 0, Arsenal 2. Stephen says there 5 shots on goal, 3 on target. Yeah, that's better. We've missed a lot of opportunities in our previous games, but we've been a little bit more clinical today. We're a lot more clinical today. And we haven't had that many chances, but we've taken 2 of the ones that we have. And it's put us in a very, very strong position, hasn't it, in this game, which is, of course, great. A great position to be in at this point, isn't it? So let's see how the rest of this game goes. We are coming into the last 6 minutes of the first half. There'll be a little bit of injury time due to that stoppage for the injury to Gabriel, who seems to be okay actually since then. So it does seem like it was an issue he had in a warm-up. But anyway, Granit Xhaka now in possession for Arsenal, plays it into Gabriel Jesus, gets it back. He's got Kieran Tierney outside him. Instead, he switches the play over to that far side. Fabio Vieira does well. Now it's with Thomas Partey. Into Thomas Partey again, plays it to this near side to Kieran Tierney, flicks it on to Gabriel Jesus, scorer of that second goal. Brilliant header it was from him. 2 headers from Arsenal today, the 2 goals. Gabriel now bringing it forward for Arsenal, finds Kieran Tierney. Arsenal keeping possession again, getting back the control that we had in this game. Pretty much from the start, it has to be said. Brentford have had 1 or 2 little moments, but nothing too much for us to worry about at this stage. Fabio Vieira over on that far side finds Bukayo in it to Ben White, who's still at right back at the moment. And Gabriel is, he seems to be moving a little bit better now since he had that treatment. But we'll see what happens later on in this game, whether he's going to be able to last the full 90 minutes. We will have to see. The Arsenal coming forward again. Fabio Vieira dinks the ball into the penalty. It was a good ball actually, looking for the run of Granit Xhaka, but Brentford again get it clear, but not very far. Bukayo Saka now finds Ben White. Saka again cutting in from that far side like he does well. Gets a shot in actually. It was not a bad shot. It hit Ben Mee inside the penalty area. Now Brentford do get the ball up to halfway, but again Arsenal pick it up. It is relentless Arsenal pressure at the moment. You can maybe sense a third goal coming before half-time. Kieran Tierney on this near side plays it in to midfield to Gabriel Martinelli. Turns, plays it out to the far side. This is good play again from Arsenal. Ben White now. Arsenal looking dangerous here in this particular attack. The ball into Martinelli, just a little bit too far in front of him. Brentford do manage to get it out, but they haven't really posed too much of a threat, have they, in this game so far? Even the long throw, which we know can be so dangerous, hasn't really worked for them, has it, in this game? Arsenal now coming forward down his near side. Gabriel Martinelli back over on the left now, but that was a tough ball for Granit Xhaka to control, and Brentford can now pick up the ball up this near side, but Granit Xhaka does really well to get it back again and won the throw for Arsenal. Great play there from the captain, Granit Xhaka, and Arsenal will have a throw in front of the Arsenal dugout, which Kieran Tierney is going to take. Mikel Arteta pacing up and down as he tends to do, but it is a throw to Arsenal. Kieran Tierney throws that across to William Saliba, who's got a lot of space in front of him to bring the ball into, and he comes forward, plays it to Ben White over on that far side. He's seen a lot of the ball, Ben White, at right back today, certainly in the attacking third of the pitch. Anyway, he's currently back now with William Saliba in to Kieran Tierney. Tries to play out to that far side. It doesn't get there, but it does the second time round to Bukayo Saka. Now Ben White in to Thomas Partey and Kieran Tierney. This is a good play from Arsenal, this. Granit Xhaka now plays it to Gabriel Martinelli on his near side. He's going to have a run at Aaron Hickey, cuts inside instead. It's a nice ball in to Kieran Tierney. He's going to try a shot from the edge of the box. He does, and it goes high over the crossbar. Another shot, though, from Arsenal. Again, not on target, but a good move that was from Arsenal. A little bit of space there was there from Kieran Tierney, but he couldn't quite keep the shot down enough. And again, it's gone into the stand behind the goal. Looks a little bit frustrated, does Kieran Tierney, with that effort there. Hasn't scored, of course, yet this season. Did get one last season, didn't he, against Norwich. But that was a goal kick from David Raya, which Arsenal do win. But the ball over the top there again, looking for the run of Ivan Toney, I think it was. And in fact, it was Mbeumo, but the ball bounced through to Aaron Ramsdale. We are now into the last 2 minutes of this first half. A good first half from Arsenal. We've kept Brentford largely at arm's length, and we've created a few opportunities of our own, got those 2 goals, 2 headers, William Saliba and Gabriel Jesus with them, and Arsenal now in possession again. Can we get the 3rd goal before half-time, which would surely kill the game off? Kieran Tierney finds Gabriel Jesus, lays it off to Granit Xhaka, but Ben White maybe waited for that ball, and Ivan Toney didn't let it reach him, and now can Brentford launch a counter-attack? No, they can't, because that ball's gone out of play. Tony's not had much influence in this game so far, has he? So, which is good, because we know how dangerous he can be. Stephen says it's such a balanced performance. I'm loving this team. We genuinely need to up the shots on goal. Yeah, I mean, we've had a few shots, haven't we? We need to increase our accuracy of the shots. They've troubled the fans behind the goal more than David Raya generally. But those 2 goals were good goals, good headers, and it has put us totally in control of this game. It's been a good first half performance, as you say, and yeah, we're looking comfortable. I'm sure Brentford, I'm sure, are going to cause us more problems in the second half. I'm pretty sure that they will, but it's certainly been a good first half from Arsenal. We just need to keep this intensity up to get this job finished, to get these points over the line. Brentford now in possession, coming forward up this near side. Aaron Hickey now in front of Mikel Arteta. He's forced back actually by Gabriel Martinelli. Good defensive play from him. And we do force the ball all the way back to David Raya in goal for Brentford. Plays the ball short out of defence. Brentford looking to try to get a bit of possession here, but they're not advancing up the pitch at all. It's back with David Raya. Plays it in to Josh De Silva, who picks it up just on the edge of his own penalty area in a very deep position. That's a long ball forward. And now Brentford have got a little bit of space over on that far side. Arsenal need to keep this out and say if we can take this 2-0 lead into half-time. There's only going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time as well, which is good news. Brentford now have a ball into the box. Header comes in just wide. That's the best chance really for Brentford. It was Mbeumo with the header there. Brian Mbeumo it was. Ivan Toney's cross. Those 2 linking up again. They've got a good understanding, haven't they? It was a decent ball in actually from Ivan Toney from that far side. Good movement from Mbeumo. Got in front of Gabriel, I think it was. It was a good header. Couldn't quite find the target. It's gone past that far post. In fact, he did get there. It came off the back of his head, actually, Mbeumo. So he couldn't direct it on target. But that's probably the nearest Brentford have come to a goal, actually, in this first half. It's come in stoppage time, and that just goes to show how strong the Arsenal performance has been. We know we've restricted Brentford to very, very little. And we've now played 1 of the 2 minutes of stoppage time. We are just in a countdown now to half time. It has been a very, very good first half this from Arsenal, but we need to stay alert now right until the end, because I say a goal back for Brentford would make life difficult for us. But we won a free kick there, and Mbeumo with the foul on Granit Xhaka. We take that free kick quickly, a little bit too quickly actually, and Thomas Partey was put under pressure, but he did well and Arsenal keep possession. Granit Xhaka moves it out to that far side to Ben White. He's had a good first half, Granit Xhaka. In fact, everybody has. It's been a good performance. Arsenal coming forward again. Have we got time, though, to get another opportunity? Bukayo Saka plays the ball in to Gabriel Jesus. He tries to give it back to Saka, but Brentford do deal with that. Although only as far as Thomas Partey. We have now played a minute and a half of stoppage time of the 2. We are on the last embers of this first half. A good first half as well. And the ball into the box there, but it's cleared away by Brentford. But Arsenal look as though we're going to finish this half in possession. Stephen says there came off his back. Yeah, sort of didn't. Sort of the back of his head, his back. Yeah. In fact, there goes a half-time whistle just before the 2 minutes, actually. So it is half-time at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's been a really, really good first half from Arsenal. We've pretty much dominated the game from start to finish, if we're totally honest. It was after 16 minutes, that first goal, it was a corner from Bukayo Saka from over on that far side, Arsenal's right. And William Saliba's header at the near post hit the inside of the far post. David Raya pushed the ball out, but it had already crossed the line. That was 1-0. The second goal came from Granit Xhaka from the left-hand side. Gabriel Jesus at the far post, about 7 yards out, headed into the top corner. That was a really good header as well. Arsenal, good value for this 2-0 lead as well. You have to say we've been the better team. We've created a much better chances. And yeah, we're in control. And I say after last season's troubles that we had here, that was a really good first half, that is. But the job's only half done, isn't it? You'd imagine Brentford are going to change a few things for the second half. I'm sure they're going to put us under a bit more pressure. I'm sure they're going to create 1 or 2 more opportunities. So it's in our hands. It's up to us, isn't it, to make sure that we, stay concentrated and hopefully we can pick them off and get a third goal on the counter-attack and seal this victory, which would be a very, very good victory, wouldn't it, if we can do it. Stephen says there, is it too early for a wine? Well, I mean, it's never too early for a wine, is it? It never is. So yeah, get the wine out. That's what you need to do. James says there, Rich, thanks for the birthday wishes. No problem, mate. I hope you're having a great day. Obviously, Arsenal making it better, I'm sure, so far. Just wanted to say the man Granit has been listening. What a performance for the man today, indeed. Position, vision, and leadership in that first half. But no, exactly. To be honest, that kind of sums up how he's been playing. Not just this season, but I think last season as well. A lot of last season he was the same, wasn't he? So, yeah, it'd be a good birthday present for you, mate, won't it? If we do manage to finish this game off and get the victory, which I'm sure we will. Terry says, good first half. Let's hope we don't sit back and allow Brentford back in the game. Let's go at the second half and kill this game. Yeah, that's my worry, Terry, as well. Sometimes we've done that, haven't we? We have maybe sat back a little bit. We didn't do in that first half, even after the second goal. Yeah, Brentford had a little spell, didn't they? But they're going to have spells in the game. Every team does, no matter how well you're playing. The other team will always have spells of possession and opportunities. But yeah, I think it's important in the second half that we don't drop off, that we don't allow Brentford to sniff back in. And I think the next goal in this game is going to decide it, isn't it? I think if Brentford score, especially if it's early enough and get it back to 2-1, then it's going to be really difficult for us because I think they'll pile the pressure on, and then it's going to be how strong we're going to be defensively to hold them up. We don't keep many clean sheets. That's my concern. But of course, if we do get the next goal, get the third goal, then that's game over. 3 points in the bag, and we'll go into the international break top of the table, won't we? So yeah, it is crucial, isn't it, that we start the second half as we played most of that first half on the front foot. We can't allow them back in it, can we? We really can't. Anyway, let's see what the second half is going to bring, because that was a very, very good first half performance from Arsenal, wasn't it? Pretty much from start to finish. I thought that was really, really good. So, yeah, great stuff from Arsenal, which is very, very good. There's a game going on in the WSL at the moment as well. For those interested in that, Aston Villa 0, Manchester City 0. Of course, the opening weekend of the season, Chelsea play Liverpool at 5 o'clock. Actually, that'll be a good game, won't it? Liverpool's first game back in the WSL. Chelsea, of course, the defending champions. We could do with them dropping some points nice and early in the season, couldn't we? So we don't often say this on the channel, but come on Liverpool later. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And the other games today, Leicester against Tottenham and West Ham against Everton. Of course, Manchester United did beat Reading 4-0 yesterday. We, of course, beat Brighton 4-0 on Friday. So we had a top 2 in the league at this moment in time. Of course, very, very early days in the WSL. And of course, next Saturday, the big North London derby, North London against Tottenham, of course, at the Emirates, which will be there. And if you're going to that game, look out for us, say hello, and we would be nice to meet you. That would be great if you are at the Emirates next Saturday for the big North London derby, Arsenal women against Tottenham. 45,000 tickets sold already. Well, let's get it to 50,000. What a great turnout that will be. Anyway, we'll just go through a few stats there from that first half because it's been a good performance from Arsenal, and we'll show you exactly how dominant we've been. Arsenal 64% possession. I actually thought it was a bit more than that, to be fair, but it is 64% possession for Arsenal, 36 for Brentford. Arsenal had 7 shots. Brentford just the 2. Arsenal 3 on target. Of course, 2 goals from those 3 on target, which is unusual, isn't it? We tend to miss a lot of our opportunities, but we've 3 shots, 2 goals, and 3 on target. Sorry, Brentford 1 on target, and Brentford have had 2 corners. Arsenal only had 1. Of course, we did score from our 1 corner as well, didn't we? So yeah, a pretty dominant Arsenal performance. There's no doubt about that. And as things stand, we'll be back on the top of the table tonight, which is great, isn't it? Of course, there is one more game today, isn't there? Later on this afternoon, 2:15, Everton against West Ham, as well in the Premier League. Of course, the other 2 games today have been postponed, haven't they? Manchester United against Leeds and Chelsea against Liverpool. They are both, of course, called off due to the issues with the policing and whatever. I mean, well, we assume that's what the issue is. I'm not quite sure what the Man United Leeds game has to do with it. But anyway, that game's off. And I say the game between Chelsea and Liverpool is also off. Possibly couldn't have 2 games in West London on the same day this particular weekend. I assume that's probably the reason for that. But anyway, that's what it is. Anyway, they're just showing the first goal again. It was clearly over the line. It's miles over the line. Wasn't any doubt about it. A good header at the near post. I'm not sure if Saliba was trying to score or whether he was just trying to flick it on for Gabriel Jesus coming around the back. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It went in off the post, and Arsenal got the perfect start. And I say we said before the game how important the first goal was going to be in this game because it's so difficult a place to go, and we saw that last season. So to start the way that we did was fantastic, and you know, we managed to build on that first goal as well, didn't we? With the second goal, 28 minutes it was. Granit Xhaka. I mean, what a cross that is actually from Granit Xhaka for the second goal. Absolutely brilliant cross. Gets the ball out of his foot, dinks it over to there, and you know, it's just crying out for your centre to be on the end of that and head it in. We don't often score too many goals like that, do we? These days. But you know, two, I suppose in a way, 2 throwback goals really, aren't they? The first one, a very 1980s. George Graham type corner goal, wasn't it? A near post flick on, and then of course a cross into the box and a headed goal again. An unusual type goal for Arsenal these days, but great to see that we can show a bit more variety in our play as well, because that's been a criticism I think that we've all had of Arteta a little bit. We have been too predictable, but today we've mixed it up a little bit, and it's good to see that, and it's worked because you know we are ahead. In the game, which is great, isn't it? So it's been a good start, and let's hope we can continue this. I'm just going to update something here. Just give me 2 seconds. Let's see how we go. But it's been a good first half, hasn't it? Let's be honest. But the job's only half. Let's not get too carried away yet. It's only half time, and we've seen strange things happening in the Premier League. And you know, we need to make sure that we don't allow that to happen in the second half of this game, because it's definitely not going to be. The job's not done yet, is it? I don't believe it's done yet. I think we've still got work to do in the second half. We can't afford to switch off. We've got to be strong. We've got to be ready for Brentford to come at us in the second half, and I'm sure that they will. So it is going to be difficult, but we need to get this finished. And if we do, we will go into the international. We're going to October, top of the league. I mean, wow, who would have thought that? And to be honest, when was the last time that happened? That's the thing, isn't it? I can't remember when the last time, beginning of October, we were top of the league. 2016, maybe 2015, somewhere around then, I would imagine. Maybe even longer ago than that, but it's been a long time. So let's hope that we can do it today. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? And let's keep going. You know, I still don't think we're in a position ready to win the league or anything like that. I've got to be honest, I really don't. But the top four is what we've got to look for. We know it's going to be difficult. You can see the squad depth today. We can see that the problems, can't we? Because we're still lacking, aren't we, in depth? I think in certain areas, particularly in midfield, as we know. So I think it's important that we do, try and get as many results as we can now, and then let's hope that later on in the January window and stuff, we can maybe bring in one or two players that we need to get, to get us over the line into the top four. Because last year we know we should have been in the top four. We know that. But we know what happened, and again, that was a squad depth issue, and I don't think we can afford to make the same mistake again. I thought the squad still looks weak. We look at our bench today, for example. We've got a couple of injuries, big players out, and we're down to the bare bones a little bit. But the performance has been good, and I think that's the main thing there. Steve says they can't see us doing that. I think they will come at us. Yeah, I think they will come at us. Yeah. We'll see a lot more. We will see more. I mean, it's going to be interesting in the second half, because I think what's going to happen is, I think one of the two things is going to happen. Brentford, I think, are going to change things up a little bit, because that didn't work for them in the first half, did it? So I think they're going to change the way they're playing tactically, and they're going to try and get the ball forward a bit quicker. They need to get Tony and Mbeumo in the game more, don't they, if they're going to have any chance. And yeah, there will be more space building up for us, but it's kind of how we approach the game a little bit as well, I think, isn't it? If we think the job's done, and we've done that before, haven't we? We've sat off and we've allowed teams to come at us, then I feel as though if we allow Brentford to build up a head of steam in this game, we could really struggle. We could be put under pressure, and I think it could be difficult for us. But hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully we will continue to do what we've done. There's not been often, though, has there? That worries me a little bit, that we've put in a 90-minute performance. We tend to play well in one half, be it the first half or the second half. And today we've put in a good first half performance. So let's see if we can, make a 90-minute top performance, because we haven't done that enough. I don't think. I definitely don't think we've done that enough. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We can only enjoy where we are at the minute, which is obviously, we play really well, 2-0 up, and we're in a great position. But we need to make sure that we finish this off and get the job done. I think that's the important thing now. And if we play like we did in the first half, we're going to win this game. There's no doubt. But football doesn't always work like that, unfortunately, does it? We've seen it ourselves too many times. So I'm not going to get too carried away just yet. Let's see what the second half brings. But I'm sure, we're well on the way, aren't we, to going back to the top of the table. And hopefully we will be able to get the 3 points, and I say look forward to a couple of weeks more on top of the league, which is great, isn't it? A little bit of pressure today, having Man City overtake us, having Tottenham overtake us yesterday, and obviously what happened here last season. So we came into this game under a bit of pressure for the first time maybe this season to a certain degree, and we've dealt with that really well, and that's a good sign for me, because that's something that I've not always felt this team are capable of doing often enough. But we've done it today so far. But it is only half time, and a lot can happen in 45 minutes of football. We've seen it this season already in a lot of other games that's been played. So I'm certainly not taking it for granted quite yet. But let's produce the same sort of performance in the second half, and I'm sure we will get the win. And then we will be sitting here in an hour's time or so, looking down at everybody else in the Premier League for another couple of weeks. But yeah, good first half, really, really good first half for Arsenal. Of course, in the second half, we're attacking the end where our fans are as well, which is nice, isn't it? It always seems to make a difference sometimes, doesn't it, for me? You've got your fans behind that goal, and they kind of can almost suck the ball into the net sometimes. Let's hope that's what happens today in the second half, we'll see. But yeah, good first half from Arsenal. Goals from William Saliba, and of course Gabriel Jesus, both headers. Unusually, I don't know when the last time we scored 2 headers in a game. Anyway, I know it was. Did we not break the record for most consecutive left-footed goals recently in the Premier League? Didn't we? And now we've got 2 headed goals. So I wonder if we might go on a run now of headed goals, mightn't we? We certainly have looked dangerous today from balls into the box, which is always good to see. Oh, excuse me. Right. But yeah, so we're looking forward to the second half now. Let's see if we can really push on and get the win and get back to the top of the league. That's what we want, isn't it? We don't want none of this dropping points business in London derbies. But two really good goals from Arsenal, a good performance. And yeah, let's get the job finished. Let's get this win over the line, and then we can look ahead to the big games coming up in October. Now, I don't know whether you guys have heard about the potential of the North London derby on October the 1st getting called off due to the train strikes. Obviously, the train strikes were due to be this week, weren't they? But what with the royal funeral and etc., they have kind of postponed them. Now we understand they're going to perhaps be then in the. They did cancel, of course, the Brighton Crystal Palace game on the back of train strikes. We've been hearing today there's a possibility that the North London derby may get called off. I personally can't see it myself, but there is talk of it. So let's hope that that doesn't happen, because the momentum is important, isn't it? We want to be playing these games when we're playing well. And it'd be nice, wouldn't it, for us to be the team that ends Tottenham's unbeaten Premier League run, won't it? It'd be rather than somebody else the week after. It'd be nice if we do it, wouldn't it? Terry says, Villa beating Man City 1-0. Are they? Well, that's obviously that's in the WSL. Don't get excited in the Premier League. So he says, sorry, 2-0. Is it 2-0 now? Wow. Anyway, enough of WSL for the time being. We will talk about that another time. We have kicked off the second half here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 2. We will have a look at the WSL games go. That's the only one played at the moment. We'll bring an update on that score later. They're also coming forward straight away with Fabio Vieira. He's had a good game, actually, young Fabio Vieira. Been impressed with his first half performance. So I was a little bit worried he might get physically bullied in this game after what Brentford did to us last year, but he stood up to the challenge today and he's had a good game. So well played to Fabio Vieira so far. Of course, Thomas Partey's back and we've got some sort of control of the midfield. There's a surprise, isn't it? Anyway, also coming forward now, Gabriel Jesus inside the centre circle, does well. Finds Ben White on his near side, Arsenal's right, got Bukayo Saka ahead of him. Bukayo Saka running at that Brentford defence, gets inside the penalty, pulls the ball back to the near post, not really cleared away by Brentford. Martinelli's in there fighting away for it. Comes to the edge of the box. This is a great run from Jesus. Oh, he ran out of space, actually. The Brentford defence crowded round him, but a fast start to the second half. This from Arsenal. Brilliant stuff. Looking to really get that third goal. So I do think the start of the second half is going to be so important. The first goal, if there is any goals in the second half, the first goal is going to perhaps decide where this game goes. If we get it, it's game over. And if Brentford get it, then it's going to be a much more difficult. Afternoon, isn't it? Anyway, we have played a minute and a half of the second half. It is currently Brentford in possession, just inside their own half. Brentford 0, Arsenal 2. Brentford coming forward. That's a poor ball actually by Rico Henry, and Arsenal can launch an attack of their own now. Gabriel Jesus just inside the Brentford half, very deep again, isn't he? The Arsenal centre forward. The ball now played over to that far side. Thomas Partey now looking to try to get the ball forward. It's a long ball over the top, but it's overhit. Looking for the runner, Gabriel Jesus. It's ran through to David Raya, and Brentford will gain possession again. Raya again with the ball at his feet, just by the penalty spot, goes long into the Arsenal half, looking for Mbeumo, but it's a good header from Gabriel. Back again off Fabio Vieira. Now William Saliba got that first goal today, his second goal of the season already. Good stuff from him. And Gabriel Jesus with a nice turn. Arsenal starting the second half as we finished the first, actually on top with a lot of possession coming forward down that far side. Kieran Tierney on a run. Can he get a cross in? He goes back instead to Granit Xhaka from a position that he set up that second goal. This time he plays it square to Thomas Partey. Now it's back with Gabriel. Granit Xhaka again plays it in to Gabriel Jesus. Xhaka again. Arsenal keeping possession really well. The ball goes back though to Gabriel now. William Saliba, who's the most deepest Arsenal player, put under a bit of pressure there. Actually does well, Saliba. Nice turn away from pressure. Nice and calm. Gets the ball to Fabio Vieira. Now Bukayo Saka. Ben White steamed on a run outside him, but Bukayo Saka cuts inside, finds Fabio Vieira, tries a shot from distance. It's in! Fabio Vieira, his first goal. That's 3-0. Surely that seals it. What a finish that is from the young Portuguese player in for. Wow. Fabio Vieira has surely sealed the victory for Arsenal. What a fantastic goal that is from probably, 25 yards. Fired it in to that bottom right-hand corner. It was a good move from Arsenal, actually, initially anyway. Bukayo Saka, it was, cut inside from that right, found Fabio Vieira. He just looked up, hit a shot. Again, it's in off that near post. There's no doubt of this one. It went into the net as well off that post. What a great strike that is with his left foot from 25 yards in off the post. Brilliant finish that is. What a first start in the Premier League for him. What an impact. He's had a great game anyway. And that just seals it. That is a fantastic strike. 3-0 to Arsenal. That is game over. We said if we got the goal early in the second half, that would probably seal it in front of those Arsenal fans behind that goal. And Fabio Vieira ran over there to celebrate with the fans as well. What an impact from him on his first Premier League start. Brilliant goal. So that's both of those two new signings. Fabio Vieira and Manquillos have both scored now in the last two games, haven't they? Brilliant stuff. Two new great signings as well. Fantastic stuff. Deepak's in the chat says, hello, how you doing, mate? Thank you very much for tuning in. Terry says, 3-0 Fabio, indeed. Deepak says, one question, how do you become an Arsenal fan? Well, anyone can become an Arsenal fan. You just decide you want to be an Arsenal fan, and you are. Simple as that. So if you want to be an Arsenal fan, just be an Arsenal fan. We will happily accept you as an Arsenal fan. That would be great if that's what you want to do. Steve said, what a goal. It was a fan, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff. 3-0, and I don't want to say we're cruising, but we're almost cruising, aren't we, at the minute? But anyway, Brentford have got a free kick, so let's stay switched on. We do want to get a clean sheet in this game. That's a good ball, actually, towards the far post. Again, it's a good Arsenal defensive header. That was from Ben White. In fact, I think there was an offside. I'm not sure what. In fact, it's a free. Is he giving a free kick, the referee, to Brentford? I'm not quite sure what's gone on there, actually. Anyway. Rajendra says there 3-0 to the Arsenal. Indeed, it is. And hi, Rich, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. I hope you're well on this Sunday afternoon. Steve says I became an Arsenal fan through marriage. Well, there you go. There's lots of ways you become an Arsenal fan, or you can just decide yourself. You can just decide to be an Arsenal fan. You know, that's how it can happen, isn't it? So Deepak says there. Then how fans of lower ranked teams stick to them when most often they lose and win, like Wolves and Bournemouth. Well, I mean, you know, when you're a fan of a club, you're a fan of a club, aren't you? Whether they win or lose is irrelevant a lot of the time. It's irrelevant all the time because it doesn't affect how you support your club. Obviously, you're disappointed, upset when you lose games and you're not happy. But, you know, people that are Wolves fans and Bournemouth fans, you know, they've probably been Wolves and Bournemouth fans all their life. And that's not going to change just because they might lose some games. You know, look where Wolves and Bournemouth have been. They've been in the fourth tier of English football, you know, and now they're in the Premier League. So I'm sure overall they're probably quite happy with where their club are. Yes, it's difficult losing games, but you know, it's your club and you love your club, don't you? You want them to do well. Anyway, it's a free kick to Brentford on the edge of the box. This is a dangerous moment, actually. Ivan Toney's over this. He did score a great free kick, didn't he, in the recent game against Leeds. Fabio Vieira's lying behind the wall. That's always just over the top there, actually. It was Ivan Toney with that free kick. Did he get a deflection off the wall or was it straight over? Unusual free kick, actually. Did Ramsdale touch that over? I don't think he did. Anyway, it was not a bad free kick there, actually. It was it was played up and then Toney did try a spectacular effort there. I seem to remember a free kick like that in the 1970s that went in one of the goals of the season. Vijendra says just follow Arsenal, and Deepak says got it. But I don't know what at all. Just, you know, pick a team you want to support and support them. That's it. But don't change once you've picked a team. That's it. Then forever you're stuck for life. We, you know, as Arsenal fans, and actually we've done quite well, haven't we? We have, you know, we've all got different reasons why Arsenal became our team, and yeah. We've made a good choice, haven't we? Overall, we've seen a lot of great moments, and you know, despite some of the not so good moments, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, we've experienced some amazing things as Arsenal fans, and maybe some more amazing things to come with this current team. We shall see. But we've got a free kick over on this far side, looking to get a fourth goal, which would be incredible, wouldn't it? No one would have been predicting this. from this game. And then the free kick comes in from Fabio Vieira. Wasn't very good, actually. Didn't beat the first man. We do get is it a corner or is it a throw over on that far side? Deepak says, by the way, I'm a Liverpool fan. Oh, okay. What makes you a Liverpool fan? Is it because they used to win a lot of trophies, or because they've won the Champions League? Or is it just because you just happen to like Liverpool? It doesn't matter, does it? Steve says, football is a tribal thing. You follow your team, make friends, and enjoy the ups and downs. Yeah, of course you do. That's what football's about, isn't it? Of course, we want to see our team winning games. We want to see every team and every fan of every team got different expectations, haven't they? As Arsenal fans, we're a big club. We've had a lot of success, and as Arsenal fans, we want to experience those moments again at some stage. And it's frustrating when we don't. If you're a fan of Wolves or you're a fan of Bournemouth, your expectations are different. You're just happy being in the Premier League, I would assume, and wanting to win as many games as you can and stay in the Premier League. And that's success for those clubs, isn't it? And it's all to do with expectations, isn't it? As Arsenal fans, our expectations are a lot higher based on the history of the club and what we've achieved. And that's unfortunately sometimes the way it is. It can be a bit of a burden sometimes having that expectation, because sometimes it's easier if your expectations are lower, because the slightest little thing you can be really excited about. Whereas with Arsenal, our expectations are much more than that. And unless we're competing for trophies and winning things, or looking like we're going to be able to win things, then it's always going to feel like a disappointment, isn't it, I suppose? But anyway, Arsenal have won a free kick at the moment. There was a foul on Thomas Partey. Arsenal not very happy with the challenge actually on him. But anyway, Steve says there, we've had some bad times against Liverpool. We've had some bad times against everybody, I suppose. But ultimately, we've also had some very good times against Liverpool, haven't we? 89, 87, numerous other occasions. So, yeah, I mean, football's like that, isn't it? It's up and downs. Deepak says, I like the atmosphere at Anfield on match day. Also like club spend so intelligently on underdog. I mean, to be fair, Liverpool, the atmosphere at Anfield can be great. I was going forward again. It's looking for a fourth goal, cross from Ben White to the far post. Martinelli's there. Brentford did defend that initial ball in pretty well, actually. But Martinelli has come away with the ball, looking good again. A young Gabriel Martinelli. Terry says, Deepak, now you've been on this channel, you are now an Arsenal fan for the rest of your life. You must now subscribe and thumbs up. Welcome to Arsenal. Indeed, yeah. I mean, that's what you've got to do. You've got to subscribe and give it a like. Now you're here. And yeah, I mean, whether or not you'll be an Arsenal fan for life, I don't know. Hopefully, if you come and watch us a bit more, you might start to enjoy Arsenal a bit more than you have done. But yeah, if you want to become a fan of Arsenal, we welcome you on board. But no one can really change the club, can they? Arsenal coming forward again. It's always a great goal. Oh, it's a good save from David Raya. Actually, was it Gabriel Jesus? Lovely 1-2 with Granit Xhaka in the build up to that. Lovely play from Arsenal again, looking really sharp. It was Gabriel Jesus played the ball into Xhaka. Xhaka actually there from David Raya denied Arsenal a fourth goal. It would have been another assist for Granit Xhaka as well. Just hit the inside of his heel there, the goalkeeper. And it's going to be a corner to Arsenal as we look to get a fourth goal. We've played 12 minutes of the second half. The corner comes in from that far side in towards the near post, but it's too close to David Raya. Good save from the Brentford goalkeeper. Steve says, Terry, you need to come on the show. No, it'd be nice to get Terry on. There's actually a yellow card there given to somebody. I'm not quite sure who. Was it Granit Xhaka? I'm not quite sure what happened there. What's the yellow card for? Oh, yeah, Granit Xhaka tried to stop the goalkeeper kicking the ball out, actually. Not quite sure if that's a yellow card, to be honest. But anyway, it's Granit Xhaka, isn't it? So, of course, it's a yellow card. Granit Xhaka only has to look at somebody the wrong way and he gets a yellow card, doesn't he? But that's a yellow card for Granit Xhaka. Anyway, that shouldn't disrupt from what's been a great Arsenal performance and a great performance from Xhaka. Gabriel Jesus now picks up on the edge of the box looking for another goal. Maybe ran into trouble a little bit there. Perhaps could have released the ball a little bit earlier. But anyway, it falls to Kieran Tierney over on that far side. We've played nearly 58 minutes here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. What a great performance this has been. And it's looking like being a great result as well. Bukayo Saka plays the ball back to Ben White. Those two have linked up well down his right-hand side, actually. The ball played through. They're looking for Saka again. But Brentford do clear that away. But Fabio Vieira has scored that great third goal. Tries to get across him, but it's deflected away off a Brentford defender. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal on this near side, ramping up the pressure at the start of this second half. Deepak says there, Terry, mate, I won't change my club, but we'll subscribe for sure. and we'll join most often. No, good to have you on board, mate. I hope you do enjoy the stuff that we're doing. We do have some great shows on this channel, and yeah, thank you very much for the support. Steve says there's Xhaka. Well, yeah, it was a yellow card for Xhaka. I mean, I thought it was a bit harsh yellow card. Anyway, Arsenal got a corner on its near side, but Bukayo Saka is going to take this one. He's going to swing it in with that left foot. It is an in-swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Of course, that's how we scored that first goal, but not this time. Brentford do manage to scramble this ball away, and now they're looking for a counter-attack. But good tackle there from Fabio Vieira. He's had a great game, actually, the young Portuguese player on his full Premier League debut for Arsenal. Martinelli now in a little bit of space. Thinks about a shot, does he? He's faced by two Brentford defenders, and he plays it out to Gabriel Jesus to cross in, or was that a shot? Not quite sure, but anyway, it goes into the arms of David Raya. And Ivan Toney looks like he may have picked up a bit of an injury, actually. But anyway, he says, would love to, but can't promise any times at the moment due to work, as you know. Now we know you're busy, mate. Just it would be good to get you on at some stage, on one of our shows at least, to make an appearance. You're always in the chat. You've been a big supporter of the channel. We really appreciate that, and it would be great to get you on and have a chat. Anyway, Brentford coming forward now down this near side. Ball into the box, a dangerous ball actually, well defended by Granit Xhaka again. He has been quite magnificent, as James rightly said at half-time. Really strong performance from him, and he's back there doing his defensive work there for the team, throwing himself at that, scooping the ball behind it. It's going to be a corner though to Brentford, who we've bigged them up for their set pieces, and today they've been really poor, haven't they? Steve says, Deepak, we have a show every night, so come on when you can ask questions and have fun. Exactly, yeah, we've got a lot of shows on. Next week's going to be a little bit different, and this coming week, we will talk about that at the end of this game, what we've got coming up and stuff like that. It's a slightly different stuff this week, but we will be still bringing you loads of great content for you all to enjoy, I'm sure. Deepak says there, want to know your second favourite sport after football. I like hockey and tennis. Yeah, tennis is probably my second favourite sport as well. I love tennis. I used to play quite a bit. I love watching it. I'd say that is probably my second favourite sport. Hockey's all right. I don't watch too much of it, actually, unless it's, the Olympics or stuff like that. I watch the hockey there, but I wouldn't say I'm a big hockey fan. But yeah, I do love tennis. Steve says, Terry, you can do guest boiler section. Well, yeah, maybe bring your tools on as well and show us your hammer and stuff that you smash things with. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Rajendra says, best commentary for matches. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your support. Deepak says, Steve says, yes, for sure. No, I mean, it's always good to to get fans of other clubs watching us as well, because ultimately we're all football fans, and on this show we do like, we do like to interact with other fans. We have fans of other clubs on the show quite a lot, so it's what we like to do. So you're more than welcome to join us anytime, and say come on one of the shows if you want to and have a chat to us. It'd be good. Anyway, there's a throw over on this far side to Brentford. Again, it's going to be Janssen with these long throw in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Gabriel heads it out really well actually, and now Arsenal get the ball away. Brentford do recycle it back towards a penalty, but again, it's good defending from Arsenal, and it's actually going to be a free kick as well. There was a foul there on Gabriel, who actually his earlier injury seems to not be bothering him anymore, which is very good. Let's see. Terry says, haven't I suffered enough? I married an old boy. I'm sure you haven't. I'm sure that she's great. And Steve says, you can watch me drink wine on a Tuesday and shout at Jamie. Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's always entertaining. Steve's rants at Jamie O'Hara are always fun. We do like that. So, yeah, definitely join us for that. And any of the other shows as well, because we do have a lot of fun on this channel as well. Sometimes we have a bit of a moan occasionally when it's necessary. But so far this season, there's not been too much to moan at, has it, really? There are bits and pieces that, we'd like to see better, but ultimately we are about to go back to the top of the Premier League. Bukayo Saka has just gone down with a little injury there following a challenge on him, but I'm sure he's going to be okay. Brentford are now going to be making a few substitutions actually to try to maybe get themselves a foothold in this game. They are making their substitutions now, maybe changing the shape of the team slightly as well. We will just let you know what those substitutions are. De Silva, Janlet have gone off, and Damsgaard and Onika have come on. So 2 changes there for Brentford. We've played 63 minutes of this game. Hasn't really been. Brentford haven't really threatened at all, have they? Much at all in this game, which is good. Rajendra says there, we follow the Arsenal women, the best in the double. So yeah, we also follow the Arsenal women here as well. We do indeed. I'm sure you enjoyed the game, Rajendra, on Friday, didn't you? You was at the ground, wasn't you? A good performance from Arsenal. I thought, Brighton wasn't the best, were they? Down to 10 players very early on, and Arsenal maybe looked a little bit not quite sharp enough at times, but it has been a strange pre-season, but a good start to the season. Let's hope the North London derby next week is going to be great. I'm assuming you're going, are you, to the Emirates, Rajendra? If you are, hopefully we'll see you there, because we'll be there as well. So all the guys from the show will be there as well. It's going to be a good day. Looking forward to that one. Anyway, Arsenal have got the ball currently with Aaron Ramsdale, plays at this near side to Ben White. Let's see what the changes do for Brentford. Probably not really expecting Brentford to launch a comeback, which would be extraordinary, wouldn't it? From 3-0 down when they barely threatened. I'm sure they just want to try to stem the flow a little bit and try to find something to cling on to. They're coming forward now, actually, in midfield. That's a good ball through, actually. This could be an opportunity for Brentford. Oh, great defending that was there by, guess who that was? William Saliba again. Brilliant defending from him. Looked as though Brentford were going to be in with Ivan Toney, but great defending from Saliba. Tony's not really had a kick today, has he? Let's be honest. We're a bit worried about his, a bit worried about him because his early performances this season have been really good. But today, we've kept him really quiet. And also coming forward again now, Ben White plays the ball in to Fabio Vieira. Got that brilliant. Forced back a little bit by Brentford. Bukayo Saka, lovely turn there from Saka. Plays the ball to this near side to Vieira again. Plays it in to Gabriel Martinelli. What a great run this is from Gabriel Martinelli. Goes a long way round. Still got the ball. Finds Fabio Vieira crossing towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Lacks a bit of height, and Brentford do manage to get that away. Deepak says that Arsenal giving a tough fight for City this season. Don't know what happened against Man United. Well, I still think this team are not quite at the level to be challenging for the title. I don't think our squad depth is enough. And I don't think we've got maybe experience there yet to be able to really challenge for Man City. But I think for us, it's about getting in the top 4, isn't it? That's what our challenge is. And so far, so good, really, isn't it? I mean, we're doing as good as we could have hoped. Now, Arsenal looking for another goal here. Martinelli inside the box. This is nice. Saka curls it in. Oh, great save, actually, from David Raya. Almost 4-0. But a good save again. That's 2 good saves, actually, from David Raya in this second half as Arsenal threaten more goals. Gabriel Martinelli again, but he's just dispossessed. And Brentford now can come forward themselves. Kind of know they can't because Thomas Partey's won the ball back. Fabio Vieira finds Martinelli looking for another goal. He's got 3 this season already, hasn't he? Gabriel Martinelli looking for another one today. But again, he maybe took too long to decide what to do with that ball. And Brentford do scramble it away. But a great save that was there from the shot from Saka. Produced a great save from David Raya. Brilliant stuff from the Brentford goalkeeper. Again, I said 2 big saves from him there. Brentford have got an injury to, I think it's Janssen, just following the challenge there on Martinelli just a moment before. It was like a knee against knee. They're always painful, them, aren't they? And he's getting some treatment now for that. But Arsenal won the ball back well there. Thomas Partey, just to stop a Brentford counter-attack. Well, they're just going to show that shot again from Bukayo Saka. It was a lovely move from Arsenal, actually. Lovely ball in, lovely layoff, and a great effort. Fabio Vieira involved again. He's had a great game, hasn't he, Fabio Vieira? A lovely little layoff. Saka tried to curl it in that far corner. He did, of course, get his first goal of the season in our previous Premier League game, didn't he, against Manchester United? Looking for another one there. Not quite to be. And that's 2 good saves from the Brentford goalkeeper in this game. Arsenal going over for some drinks while there's this break in play. Arteta again doing his usual coaching work while there's any break in play. Is what he likes to do. But it is Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. Really good performances from Arsenal. Saliba, Jesus and Fabio Vieira with the goals. 2 headers, another. He says Gabby is amazing and Saliba is world class. Saliba is certainly looking great. I think it's a little bit early to call him world class yet. He's not really achieved enough in the game, has he, to be called world class, but he's certainly having a great season.
his first season in the Premier League already. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too early to call him world class yet. Let's keep our feet on the ground. He's had a good season. And Fabio Vieira with a great goal today as well, actually. Brilliant performance from him as well. Anyway, Pontius Janssen is now back on his feet again following that injury. They can be quite painful with them, can't they? A knee-on-knee clash. I've had a few of them over the years. No, they're not much fun. But he looks as though he's going to be okay for the time being. Obviously, he needs to go off now, doesn't he? Steve says, what's up with Martinelli's hand? Well, I mean, we're probably best not to speculate, really, I would say. In fact, Janssen's going off. He's not going to be able to continue. And it's going to be Shandon Baptiste coming on, the Grenadian player for Brentford. So Janssen is going off. And that's the third substitution for Brentford. And Arsenal got a throw, actually, on this near side. Ben White is going to take it. Steve says there he's had the cast off. Well, no, he has. I mean, I seem to remember Jimenez at Wolves had a cast on his hand for ages, didn't he? Gabriel, a shot from distance. Oh, no, that weren't far away, actually, from Gabriel. His centre-back partner, Saliba's got a goal. He's thinking, I need to get some more goals because he's just got to win this season. The throw in, reached Gabriel, took a touch and then optimistic effort. It was a good effort, actually, from his left foot from about 20 yards, looking to repeat what Fabio Vieira just did a little while ago. In this second half, we've got just over 20 minutes left in this game. It looks comfortable for Arsenal, doesn't it? And it's comfortable because of how well we've played all the way through this game so far. That's the reason why it's comfortable. So, yeah, we've earned that right for it to be comfortable now, isn't it? You know, there's no stress, there's no pressure. We're winning this game reasonably comfortably, as I say, and yeah, we can enjoy this last 20 minutes fairly stress-free, you would hope, as long as Brentford don't get themselves a goal or so in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Which would maybe, cause us a few anxiety moments. Brentford are in possession at the moment down that far side, knocking the ball around. Well, this is one of their better moves, actually. Playing the ball into the centre circle. A little bit of space here on this near side. 70th minute, of course, there is applause going up around the ground as there has been all the in the 70th minute. I don't know whether Brentford have been lifted by the atmosphere. They're in behind now. Oh, good save from Ramsdale with his legs there. Not sure who that was. Got on the end of that. I think it was one of the substitutes, actually. May well have been a Damsgaard. It was with that effort. But this has been Brentford's best spell of the game, it has to be said. Really, really good play from them. And the applause going on at the moment, of course, for in respect of the 70 years, of course, that Her Majesty the Queen was on the throne. Anyway, Brentford coming forward again, and they certainly seem to have been lifted by that change of atmosphere in the stadium, actually, and they're coming forward again down that far side. It's a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, crossing to the box. Oh, that was a good defensive header at the near post by Gabriel, who's had a decent game today, actually. He's made a few sloppy errors, hasn't he, in recent games, but today he's been really solid, actually. Anyway, it is a throw to Brentford in the attacking third. Of course, Janssen's gone off now, so we're not going to get that long throw into the box, and instead it goes short. The cross comes in, but it's well defended again by Arsenal. That was by Gabriel Jesus, actually, who's doing his defensive duties as you would expect. And Buemo trying to go around a long way around the outside, and in the end, his frustration shows. He kicks the ball away. It's gone out for a goal kick to Arsenal. It was Damsgaard indeed with that effort there. Brentford's first real shot on target, actually, real threat. A lovely move, actually, a lovely ball. And Ramsdale was out and saved well with his legs. First save he's had to make, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Did well. And hopefully he can keep that clean sheet intact, because we haven't had enough clean sheets, have we? Let's be honest. It was Mikkel Damsgaard. And Mikkel is a familiar name, isn't it? Mikkel. He's Mikkel Damsgaard had that shot. Deepak says, hey, mate, you watch any MLS games? I don't really know, I've got to be honest. Unfortunately, not really. Not really my thing, I'm afraid. But plenty of people do, and I'm sure that there's some good teams, isn't there? A lot of players who have played in the Premier League have played out in the MLS, haven't they, over the years? So a lot of interest there, I'm sure. Anyway, the ball's currently back with David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper. He's made some good saves in the second half as well, hasn't he? To stop Arsenal adding to their total. Oh, Brentford again coming forward, and again it just ran away there from Brian Mbeumo, he's a good player, isn't he? Actually, I do like him, the Cameroonian. He looks very, he's quick, he's strong, and yeah, he looks a good player actually. Maybe a player that may end up going to, no disrespect to Brentford, but perhaps a bigger club in the future. Arsenal trying to play out from the back there, but it was Ben White gave it away, and now Brentford can come forward again. The game's got a little bit sloppy in the last few minutes actually. Play that to the far side. It's now going to be across into the boxes. It is across towards the near post, headed out by Thomas. Brentford maybe a little bit off colour. But anyway, Arsenal now got a chance for a counter attack. Gabriel Martinelli working hard. Actually, good play in the midfield there from Brentford to win the ball back. But Arsenal now still coming forward. Gabriel Jesus on this near side into Bukayo Saka. This Arsenal counter attack maybe has run out of steam a little bit because Brentford have got players back now. But Arsenal keep possession. Thomas Partey finds Granit Xhaka and just slows the play down. Sensible play from Arsenal. Now it's up this near side to Gabriel Jesus, plays it back again to William Saliba. 74 minutes played. Deepak says there, Koulibaly, was previously MLS player. Oh, yeah, I think he was, yeah. Obviously now at Chelsea. Gareth is there. Which Gareth are you referring to? Gareth Bale? Is it Gareth Bale? Has he gone there, was he? I mean, I don't really follow the MLS that much, actually, I've got to be honest. Thomas Partey now in possession for Arsenal, coming forward, looking for a fourth goal. Arsenal looking to complete what has been a very, very impressive performance. Played the ball into the box there. Thomas Partey looking for Saka, but it's ran through to goalkeeper David Raya. They've just got the team news up from the game starting in about 45 minutes. It is Aston Villa against West Ham. Not Aston Villa, sorry. It is Everton against West Ham at Goodison Park. West Ham looking to turn around that poor start that they've had. They're in better form now, aren't they? Deepak says, yeah, Gareth Bale. Yeah, okay, right, okay. I mean, I'm sure he'll do well there, actually. He's still a decent player, isn't he? Gareth Bale. Anyway, Brentford trying to come forward down his near side, but that's gone out. Bounced off Ivan Toney, and it's going to be a throw to Arsenal, and it's going to be another substitution for Brentford. It's going to be Wissa coming on, Johan Wissa replacing Brian Mbeumo. Not quite Mbeumo's day today, was it? He worked hard, but ultimately wasn't to be his day, and he's now going to be replaced by Johan Wissa, who's got a couple of goals this season, hasn't he? Good player as well. Coming on for these last 15 minutes. Arsenal haven't made any substitutions yet. It goes to show the lack of strength in depth maybe on the squad today. But the 11 out there have done well, you have to say, very well. It is Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. Kieran Tierney on that far side plays the ball back to Gabriel, and now it's back again with William Saliba. The points now look assured, don't they? Any hope of a comeback from Brentford? You feel they would have needed to have scored quite a while ago now. We're into the last 15 minutes. You can't see them getting 3 goals in that time when they've barely threatened, really. Ramsdale's had 1 save to make. Terry says that this could be our 3rd clean sheet of the season. Yep, 3rd one. Still not quite enough, is it? We still tend to make a mistake and concede a goal most games, don't we? But it would be nice to get that 3rd clean sheet. And in fact, all 3 of them would be away from home as well, which is unusual, isn't it? In fact, Man United is the only away game we've conceded in this season so far. Anyway, Brentford are coming forward now. I'm sure they would like a consolation, but that's all it would be. This game is surely done. And Arsenal are going to make some substitutions now, finally, in the last 13 minutes of this game. Who's going off? Thomas Partey is going off for Sambi Lokonga. Of course, Thomas Partey, his first game back after injury, probably sensible to take him off. We don't want to risk him getting injured again. Sambi Lokonga's coming on, and Martinelli is going off as well. Good game from him, and he's going to be replaced by Eddie Nketiah for these final few minutes. Another good game from Martinelli. He'll probably be a little bit frustrated he hadn't scored today, but good performance again from him. Another of these great Brazilian players that we've got, and Eddie Nketiah is coming on. I'd quite like to see Manquillos get a run out today as well, maybe towards the end of this game. But anyway, maybe that might come very soon. But it is Eddie Nketiah and Sambi Lokonga have come on for Thomas Partey and Gabriel Martinelli for these final 12-13 minutes of this game. So let's see what impact they can have. Eddie Nketiah has done well off the bench this season, hasn't he? He did a cool score in that Europa League game in Zurich, our last game. Arsenal, look like we won the ball back there with Sambi Lokonga's first touch, but actually it's a free kick he's given away instead, which Brentford will now take. So we'll see what impact Eddie can make today. Can he get himself a goal? He hasn't scored in the Premier League yet this season, has he? But he did get that great goal, the winning goal in Zurich, 10 days or so ago. Brentford coming forward, though, on this near side across in towards the penalty area. Good header away there. Again from Kieran Tierney. It was good defending from him. Gabriel Jesus plays the ball up. They're looking for Eddie Nketiah for his first touch, but couldn't get past the Brentford defender there, and the Bees are coming forward again. Ball played over the top there, looking for the run again on this near side of Worcester. It is, I think, but there's a foul there. Is it from Sambi Lokonga? He hasn't touched the ball yet, Sambi Lokonga. We've given away 2 free kicks. Mikel Arteta look a little bit frustrated by that. But anyway, it is going to be a free kick to Brentford on this near side, midway inside the Arsenal half. It's going to be Damsgaard with this set piece for Brentford. So I think it's important for Arsenal to keep a clean sheet here now in this game. Ball played into the penalty area. Bobbles around a bit. It's not really cleared from Arsenal. Good block again in there. In fact, there's an offside anyway already from that free kick, so it doesn't matter. And Ivan Toney is frustrated again. He looks a little bit surprised at that decision. Let's have a look what happens. Yeah, there's 2 players offside actually as that free kick came in. A good line from Arsenal. And even though Arsenal struggled maybe to get the ball away, it was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. And it was blocked by Ben White in any case. Ivan Toney's in conversation with the referee. Not been his day today, has it? But he's had a good week, hasn't he, Ivan Toney, with that call up to the England squad. Fully deserved from him as well. They're just showing the 2 young Arsenal players on the bench, of course, Ethan Nketiah and who was the other one, Lena Souza. Both those young players on the bench. They're probably not going to get on today, are they? But a good experience for them for the future, I'm sure. Brentford, though, have picked up possession over on that far side. Obviously, any goal that they may score now would only be a consolation and ruin our clean sheet, which I think we deserve to have a clean sheet, to be honest. But anyway, because we have defended well. But let's see another ball played through. In these closing few minutes on the edge of it. That's a nice turn, but again, the flag's up. Is it again? It's an offside. Brentford getting frustrated now. We're into the last 10 minutes. It was Baptiste there who did go a little bit early, did he? Wasn't quite able to get himself back on side. He was offside. Good call by the linesman, actually. Even though the ball came off an Arsenal player with Sambi Lokonga, he was already offside before that particular move. And Aaron Ramsdale's now gone down, actually, inside the penalty area, which is a little bit worrying. It's the second time in, the last 3 or 4 games he's gone down injured. The Arsenal goalkeeper, I think Brentford feel that he's maybe making too much of it, wasting a bit more time. But anyway, the time gets added on, so don't worry. It will get added back on again. So anyway, let's see how much injury time is going to be at the end of this game. It's there's 8 minutes of normal time to play, and at the moment Aaron Ramsdale is getting a little bit of treatment on the inside the penalty area, which hopefully it's nothing too serious. He's back on his feet again now. Ivan Toney is still speaking to referee David Coote about one thing or another. I'm not really sure. And Pontius Janssen is talking as well to the referee. A few feel as though Aaron Ramsdale's wasting time here. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's 3-0 to Arsenal. It's not going to make any difference, is it? Brentford aren't going to get anything from this game now. So I'm not quite sure what they are complaining about. Anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal because it wasn't offside. just in the build-up to that previous attack from Arsenal. And Ramsdale's okay, he's back on his feet, although he's not going to take this free kick, actually. It's going to be Gabriel instead. He also had some treatment in the first half, didn't he? Anyway, he's going to go long at Gabriel with that ball deep into the Brentford half. Eddie Nketiah trying to get underneath it, battling away there, but he doesn't quite manage to get possession, and Brentford do get the ball clear. And they've now won a free kick. Gabriel Jesus with that foul there on the on AR, actually, the defender for Brentford. That's a long ball forward, though, from that free kick. But again, Arsenal pick it up well. Granit Xhaka, who's had a great game, just plays the ball nice and tidy. Kieran Tierney up that far side. But again, 2 or 3 Brentford players crowding around the ball do win it back. But we forced them back again to goalkeeper David Raya. And he plays it out to that far side. We are now into the last 6.5 minutes here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's been a very, very good Arsenal performance. A fully deserved 3-0 lead. More goals potentially still to come in this game from Arsenal, which would be an amazing result, really, wouldn't it? I don't think any of us were expecting such a comfortable victory today. I think we all thought we might have been a lot closer. But anyway, Arsenal now knocking the ball around. Sambi Lokonga, the substitute, plays it up this near side to Bukayo Saka. Plays it back again to William Saliba. It was his goal after, 15-16 minutes that set Arsenal on the way today. That header from Bukayo Saka's corner gave us that early lead. And from there, we've had the platform to go on and dominate much of this game. Gabriel Jesus now in possession for Arsenal. That's a good ball up the line to Eddie Nketiah. Bukayo Saka's on the far post. If Eddie can get the ball across, he's done well, Eddie, but he's held up briefly, and now he's going to have to go backwards just in front of those Arsenal fans over on that far side. Kieran Tierney now plays it back to Gabriel Jesus, who's very deep. Now it's with William Saliba. Arsenal looking for more goals as we cut it down towards the last 5 minutes of normal time. Sambi Lokonga there is fouled, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal, who are going to be again back at the top of the league. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? It's nice seeing Arsenal there. Arsenal make another substitution now. It's going to be Tomiyasu coming on, not Manquillos, who we were all maybe excited to see in the Premier League again. It's going to be Ben White to go off. An okay game from Ben White. He got forward well again. I'm still not convinced by him as a right back, I've got to be honest. I think Tomiyasu is the natural choice there. Not quite sure how fit Tomiyasu is, to be honest. Is he 100% fit yet? He certainly played well when he's come on in games. He's going to get the last 5 minutes or so here today. And let's see. But Arsenal got a free kick, very central, midway inside the Brentford half. Granit Xhaka's over it, just plays it short to Sambi Lokonga. Can Arsenal finish the game with another goal? Kieran Tierney dinks the ball into the box towards Gabriel Jesus. He's done well, Jesus. Nice little bit of ball juggling there, keeps possession, but then he's crowded out by 2 Brentford defenders. He won it back. Gabriel Jesus is going to be another goal. Good save from David Raya, pushes it out, and he's denied Gabriel again. Another save from Raya in this second half. He's made 3 now to keep Arsenal at bay. Imagine if we won this game 6-0, that would have been incredible, wouldn't it? But great play from Jesus. He made that chance for himself. A good save, actually. Eddie Nketiah slightly on his back foot there. He maybe could have reacted a bit quicker. He may have got himself a little tap in there. But anyway, it was a good save from David Raya. And Brentford now have been trying to force Arsenal back again. Tomiyasu with his first touch finds Granit Xhaka, who was fouled by Onenka, and it's going to be another free kick to Arsenal. Brentford's frustration maybe getting the better of them now in the closing stages of this game. They have been well beaten today by a very good Arsenal performance, it has to be said. And Arsenal will be going back to the top of the table this afternoon. Granit Xhaka now, who's had a great game, it has to be said, finds Sambi Lokonga. Now it's with Gabriel. Plays it to Kieran Tierney over on that far side. Plays it in to Sambi Lokonga again. Switches it to Tomiyasu on this near side. Just come on for Arsenal, calls Bukayo Saka, who hasn't has as much influence in this game, but he's done well there. Actually finds Fabio Vieira. Great third goal it was from him. Tried to get Gabriel Jesus in on that far side, but Brentford do deal with it, and now Brentford can come forward themselves. Arsenal will be really disappointed now to concede a goal in this game, having been so much in control. Just that one save from Aaron Ramsdale, about 20 minutes to go, wasn't it, during a clapping session He did produce a good save from the substitute Damsgaard. But anyway, Arsenal coming forward now over on that far side. Eddie Nketiah it is. But he loses possession. But Kieran Tierney wins it back well, actually. Arsenal have done that really well today. We haven't let Brentford settle in possession at all. They haven't had many good spells on the ball, have they? It's been a very, very solid Arsenal performance from front to back. And Arsenal coming forward again over on that far side with Kieran Tierney. Can he get the ball up the line? He tries to do that. Eddie Nketiah trying to win it back as well. Does he keep it in? No, he doesn't. It's gone out for a throw to Brentford over on the far side. Just about on halfway. We are now into the last 90 seconds of normal time. In fact, we're going to get 2 more substitutions for Arsenal. The last 2 subs. Manquillos is one of them coming on. And one of the young lads is coming on as well, Exciting moment for him. A league debut, an Arsenal debut. Of course, Manquillos did score on his Arsenal debut, didn't he? Away in Zurich. And there's going to be another very, very young player making their debut for Arsenal today. When the opportunity is for these last couple of minutes. But Brentford currently in possession with a ball over the top. Gabriel with a header again. He's defended so well today, Gabriel. You have to say, ball's over on that far side. Brentford looking for a consolation, but they're not going to get one there. And Gabriel can hoof the ball clear. Are we going to get time for these substitutions? You have to wonder. Eddie Nketiah making a nuisance of himself, but Brentford do manage to scramble the ball back. Ben Mee it was, got it back to goalkeeper David Raya. We are now into the last minute of the 90. You'd imagine there's going to be 4 or 5 minutes perhaps of stoppage time. There's been 1 or 2 injuries in the second half, 1 or 2 hold-ups in play. There's going to be another one. There's a free kick over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus it was. And I think the referee's going to book him. Jesus is frustrated, saying it's his first foul. I don't think it is your first foul, mate. I do think you've done 2 or 3 others. But anyway, he's got himself a yellow card, Jesus. It wasn't even that bad a tackle, actually. I don't really see how that's a yellow card. It was Aaron Hickey that he fouled, and the referee, David Coote, has produced a yellow card. Ridiculous decision, really. It's actually his 4th yellow card already, so he'll be close to a suspension, won't he? Now Arsenal have got the opportunity to make these last bit of substitute. Are we going to wait till after this free kick over on that far side? We are. The free kick comes into the edge of the box. Header comes in, headed wide, and it's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time. It was Ivan Toney there with the header. Couldn't get that on target. And now the substitutions are going to happen. It is going to be Ethan Nkwanko coming on. He is going to be Nwankeri, coming on. He's 15 years and 181 days. He's actually going to be the youngest player in Premier League history to come. And what a moment for him. And it's going to be Fabio Vieira going off. Brilliant goal from Fabio Vieira. Saka's going off as well. And of course, the Arsenal fans singing Vieira, familiar chant, of course. What a moment is this for this 15-year-old lad? 15 years. Ethan Nwankeri coming on for Arsenal for the Terry says they're Arsenal's new youngest ever player coming on. I think he's the youngest ever player in the Premier League, isn't he? And not just Arsenal's youngest ever player. And Manquillos has come on as well. Another young player actually who made a big impact on his debut, didn't he, in Zurich last week. He's a young midfield player playing for the under-18s, and now he's playing in the Premier League. Wow, what an incredible moment for him. Number 83 on his back. Is he the highest numbered Arsenal player ever to play as well on the shirt number? He may well be. Anyway, Manquillos now trying to get forward down this near side. It's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time. Probably a bit more now because those substitutions did occur in the stoppage time. So we may have a few more, but we've played nearly 2 minutes of added time here. Tomiyasu with the throw finds Eddie Nketiah, gets it back. Tomiyasu finds Manquillos, and the young lad gets involved. That's his first touch in the Premier League. He does well, but Brentford do manage to clear the ball away, looking to get involved again, the teenager for Arsenal. But Brentford are coming forward down this near side. Arsenal just have to make sure we just finish this game off, get the clean sheet, get the 3 points. Another good away performance in London for Arsenal. And we are going to be top of the league again in the next few minutes. I mean, we are already technically, because the result isn't going to change now, is it? Even if Brentford do score a goal, we will be a point clear again of Manchester City and Tottenham, who, of course, were due to play each other last weekend, wasn't they? One of the games that was, of course, called off. along with our game against Everton. Could have been an opportunity for us to have gained even more ground at the top, couldn't it? Anyway, Manquillos now in possession. Nice ball in to Tomiyasu. This is nice play from Arsenal. We're into the last minute of stoppage time here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Really good performances from Arsenal from start to finish. Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. William Saliba, Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira on the score sheet. Vieira on the score sheet for Arsenal for the first time since 2005. Brilliant stuff from him. Brentford now have one possession back over on that far side, but they know the day's done for them. The game is over. It's been over a long time, and not the best performance from Brentford today. But a lot of that credit has to go to Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus has just gone down with some cramp. He is being helped by Ben Mee. No, not Ben Mee, sorry. He's being helped by Shandon Baptiste. But Gabriel Jesus has been given player of the match. Okay, I mean, he did play well. I think my player of the match would have been Fabio Vieira. But anyway, Gabriel Jesus has got it again. And he's currently gone down with cramp. As we get down onto the 4 minutes of stoppage time, this injury here due to the substitutions that were made as well. But ultimately, it's not going to make any difference to the end result of this game. It has been a very, very impressive Arsenal performance, you have to say. Really, really impressive. Gabriel Jesus may not be able to finish this game, actually. I think he's just trotting off over on that far side. It is a cramp that he's got. In fact, he's going to go and take the throw-in, so he's going to carry on. In fact, he's not going to take the throw-in. He's going to leave it for Kieran Tierney. It is now just a matter of how much longer the referee wants to add on to this game. We have played 30 seconds over the 4 minutes. We're just counting down now to Arsenal being top of the league again. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It's all over at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's finished here. Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. A very, very good Arsenal performance from start to finish, actually, in what we all felt was going to be a very, very tricky game. A few injury problems for Arsenal coming into it as well. Martin Odegaard not fit enough to play today, which was a bit of a surprise and a bit of a shock. I think maybe an illness issue there because he did train yesterday. Gabriel Jesus ending the game with a little bit of an injury there. Good to see Fabio Vieira enjoying himself there on the pitch at the end. He did go off right at the end, but a great goal from him. And a good all-round performance from Arsenal, wasn't it? I say from start to finish. It was William Saliba with the opening goal, 16 minutes in. That really settled us down. We'd started pretty well anyway. We needed a goal. We got one. A good header it was from William Saliba from Bukayo Saka's corner from the far side. Went in off the far post. Goalkeeper David Raya did try and push it out again, but it was clearly over the line. We got a second goal midway through that first half. Granit Xhaka's cross from the left, headed in from Gabriel Jesus, his fourth goal of the season. And that put us in a comfortable position at half-time. We wanted to come out in the second half and finish it off, really. We didn't want to give Brentford any opportunity to get back in the game. We did that with the third goal about 10 minutes into the second half. A great strike from Fabio Vieira on his first Premier League start for Arsenal. Brilliant goal from him. And the other talking point afterwards was, of course, the debut of Ethan Nwaneri, who came on there right at the end, the youngest ever Arsenal player in Premier League history. Brilliant to see him get an opportunity on the pitch and a comfortable victory in the end. And the Arsenal players just going over and applauding the fans as well. Good performance from Arsenal from start. So it could have been 4 or 5-0 actually. A couple of good saves from David Raya, 2 from Gabriel Jesus, 1 from Bukayo Saka as well. Comfortable Arsenal performance. Ramsdale only had 1 save to make, and that was from substitute Damsgaard with his legs to make sure he got his clean sheet. So after 7 games, Arsenal top of 18 points. Man City and Tottenham second and third on 17. Brighton is still fourth on 13. They've got a game in hand. Manchester United are fifth with 12. They've got a game in hand as well. Fulham are sixth with 11 points from 7 games. Chelsea have got a game in hand. They've got 10 points. Liverpool have got 9 from 6 and 8. Brentford have got 9 and they are in 9th place. And Newcastle in 10th place. Leeds 11th. Bournemouth 12th. They've got 8 points each. Southampton and Aston Villa both on 7 points. And, of course, Leicester are bottom of the table. But we don't worry about that. All we care about is Arsenal are top of the table again. And it's a good feeling still, isn't it? Tom says there, thanks for it. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the game and another Arsenal victory. William Saliba, they're just showing his goal again in off that far post. It was clearly over. It was this far over the line. It wasn't It was about that far over the line. It wasn't even close, really. So that was brilliant stuff. He out jumped Ivan Toney out the near post, and it clearly went over the line. And that was a good goal. Gabriel Jesus with a second one. Another good header as well from Granit Xhaka's cross. And I say Fabio Vieira with a brilliant finish for the third goal. That was a great goal, actually. His first goal for Arsenal. Great stuff. So, yeah, it's been a brilliant performance from Arsenal today. Comfortable, and could have been an even bigger victory. I say a couple of good saves in the second half there from the goalkeeper, David Raya. We got a hand to Gabriel's header for the second one, but couldn't keep it out. And the third goal, 49 minutes it was. Absolutely brilliant move, actually, from Arsenal. Lovely passing movement before. Fabio Vieira was involved a little bit earlier in the move, got the ball to Saka. Saka's Ben White's overlapping run opened up a little bit of space. Saka found Vieira, he got it out of his feet, left foot shot in off the post. Brilliant goal from him. His first goal for Arsenal and his first Premier League start. Terry says, another good win. Roll on Spurs. Indeed, yeah, let's hope that game does go ahead. I say there is rumours that it may not be. I'm sure it will after the international break. So, yeah, brilliant performance from Arsenal today. My man of the match, I'm going to give it to Fabio Vieira, actually. I thought he was brilliant today. A great goal as well. I know that the TV have given it to Gabriel Jesus. A good performance from him, don't get me wrong. Brilliant. There were a lot of good performances today. Saliba had a great game as well, didn't he? Good to see Thomas Partey back. He played pretty well. Granit Xhaka was outstanding in midfield once again, as he has been all season. Captain today. Surely he should be captain. Come on, let's get that sorted out. Jesus, a good performance. Martinelli, Saka as well. So, yeah, and everybody contributed well to a good all-round Arsenal performance and a good victory, which should hopefully, sets us up nicely for this international break, doesn't it? Terry says there, nearly time to go and hoover the grass back and front. Hope you're all going to enjoy yourselves like I was. Yeah, exactly. I hope everyone enjoys the bank holiday tomorrow as well. We've got if you're watching the funeral, obviously it's not to be enjoyed, but you know what I mean. Enjoy the experience of it, I guess. A once in a lifetime moment, probably for most of us. Tomorrow. And if you're off work, enjoy the time off as well. Coming up on our channel this week, it's we're not going to be doing the Arsenal review show tomorrow due to it's the day of the funeral. We're not going to do a show tomorrow. I don't think it's appropriate and right to do so. So we're not going to. Tuesday, of course, we'll be back. It's a watch along the Arsenal women against Ajax in the Champions League qualifier. First leg at Meadow Park. 7:30 kickoff. We'll be going live at 7:15 for that one. That's going to be a good game. Wednesday, we've got a busy day for you. We've got the Arsenal women's show at 6:30 on Wednesday evening. The usual gang will be joining us, looking back on the opening to the season, looking ahead to the North London derby as well. And that's on Wednesday then. Also on Wednesday, 8:00, Melvin is back with his fantastic Hybrid Matters show. He's got a very special guest joining him, looking at the period of sort of late 60s, early 70s this week. That's going to be great. That's at 8:00 on Wednesday. On Thursday, of course, Adam's back with the Arsenal Social, joined by Steve. Of course, that's going to be a great show as always. 8:00 on Thursday. We've got nothing on Friday. I'm travelling down to London for the North London derby on Saturday, so we won't have a show then. On Saturday, we will be doing obviously a vlog of that game, Arsenal women against Tottenham, and also as well, we'll be doing some live stuff as well. We're going to get the gang together. We're meeting up at the stadium with Andreas and Amar and everybody else, so that's going to be really good. So we look forward to that as well. And then, of course, it is an international break for the men, so we'll see what shows we'll be doing the week after. But again, Arsenal women are in action the following Wednesday against Ajax, so we'll be bringing you a live watch along of that game. And we've also got as well that week, we've got a very special guest joining us. An Arsenal legend actually is coming on this show a week on Wednesday. That's October the 5th, I think it is. Or is it the 6th? And then I'll get you the date. We want to make sure we get you the right date for that. A date for your diary, Wednesday the 5th of October. It is a night of it's going to be a big night. That obviously Arsenal women playing in the Champions League, but we've got an Arsenal legend joining us 5 p.m. on Wednesday the 5th of October. So please make sure you join us for that as well. So loads and loads coming up on the channel. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of these great shows. Give it a thumbs up as well if you've enjoyed our coverage today of the show, as I'm sure you would have done. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, please join us on Tuesday for the women's watch along, Arsenal women against Ajax at 7:15. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great occasion, so please join us for that. And I say loads more great stuff coming up this week. Terry says, is Steve's show not on Tuesday? No, it's not, because the women's game's on at 7:15. So unfortunately, Steve's show's not on this week. But Steve will be joining Adam on Thursday for the social. So please join us for that. So no, you didn't hear that wrong. No, Steve's show isn't on Tuesday because the Arsenal Watchalong, women's Watchalong's on. And we felt it not appropriate to do a show tomorrow, on the day of the funeral. So we're not going to do the Arsenal review tomorrow. So yeah, so Tuesday's a Watchalong. Wednesday we've got 2 shows for you. Thursday it's the Arsenal social, and that's your week here on over and over and over again. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the show today. Good victory for Arsenal. It finished here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. Brilliant stuff. And actually, what we need to do, again, ignore the graphic. It's a little bit old, but the song is still relevant. You can never hear that too many times, can you, to be honest? It's not... we need to enjoy it, don't we? It's great being top of the league, and it's not something that we've experienced too often in recent years. And of course, the good news is now we go into the North London derby, we will be top of the league going into that game. But we know how tight it is. Tottenham is 1 point behind us. What a big game that's going to be, actually, in 2 weeks' time. So we're definitely going to look forward to that. And of course, another North London derby next week, as I say, the women playing at the Emirates as well. Well, big days ahead. Exciting stuff happening, isn't there, in Arsenal's at the moment. The women and the men are both top of the league. What I will do, actually, before we go, we'll just take a little check up on the WSL game, of course, being played today. Well, it's actually Aston Villa 3, Manchester City women 3. Incredible, that, actually. Aston Villa were 2-0 up. We're still playing. There's still 15 minutes to go there. It was Lehman and Daly with the 2 goals for Villa. Man City came back with Coombs, 2 goals for her. Darley put Villa back ahead, and Bunny Shaw. Actually, no, Bunny Shaw. In fact, no, Villa, Man City came out, they were 3-2 up, and Darley just equalised, made it 3-3. Anyway, that looks like a great game in the WSL. So that's still going on. So if you want to watch the end of that, please do so. That looks like it's going to be good. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching today. Comfortable victory for Arsenal. Brilliant stuff. Great performance, start to finish. Outstanding, really, everybody today. No weak performances. Everybody was on top of their game. And what looked like it was going to be a difficult game turned out to be quite a comfortable and impressive Arsenal victory. It finished Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. William Saliba, Gabriel Jesus, and Fabio Vieira's first Arsenal goal sealed that brilliant victory. Great stuff indeed. Terry says there, a great win, great show as always. Have a great rest of your weekend, Rich, and come on, you Gunners, and all in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy the rest of this long weekend, extra extended weekend that we've got. We will be doing a few bits and bobs as well over the rest of the weekend. And I say lots of shows to bring you this week as well before we get ready to go down. We're going on holiday next week to Wales as well. So we've got a lot of stuff to do this week, packing as well. Obviously going to London first for the game, and then up to Wales. Terry says 4-3 Villa now, is it? Wow, exciting game there, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff. The WSL is back, and it's back with a bang, it seems, doesn't it? But don't worry about that for now. We will look at the WSL again, obviously, later on. Just before we leave, we just need to do this. And we are top of the league. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching today. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will see you on Tuesday for the women's Watchalong against Lights. Big game that it's important that we do qualify for the Champions League group stage. So a massive game there. Rajendra says, come on the Arsenal indeed. Thank you very much, Rajendra, for your support there. Terry as well. Everyone else in the chat. Steve, of course, was in. Tom as well. Brilliant stuff. Thank you to all you guys for watching. And Deepak as well. Good to see a new guy involved in the show. That's great to see. Hope you did enjoy it. I'll say we'll see you Tuesday for the women's Watchalong. Arsenal have won 3-0 today. Go back to the top of the league. It's good, isn't it? It's not bad, all this new season lark, is it? It's going pretty well, isn't it? But anyway, long way to go. Let's enjoy it while we can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your bank holiday. We will see you on Tuesday evening for the Arsenal women's game. Join us for that. And in the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners. Top of the league. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. See you soon, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.